Fantastic, fantastic. How you're doing today? Hello, how you're doing today? If you're on the call, just tell me how you're doing today in the chat box, okay? Just with one sentence or a word, just tell me how you are feeling today. All right. Can see some comments. So we just keep waiting for others to join because we're expecting a lot of people to be on this call. So while we wait, let's just get to know each other and know where we are joining from. So I'm Chukwemeka and I'm joining from Nigeria. So you can tell me your name and where you are joining from. I can see some iPhone. So I want to be able to communicate to everyone and call us by name. So just your name and where you are joining us from. Up from Nigeria. I can see that. Fantastic. Winfred from Abuja. Abuja is in Nigeria, right? Yeah, don't mind me. Frank from Nigeria. Wow, Nigeria is winning today. That's amazing. Nigeria is winning today. All right. Ebele from New York City. Fantastic. Can see people from New York City joining us now. That's amazing. Sunday from Nigeria. Ikea from Cameroon. Ibrahim from Nigeria. Fantastic, fantastic. Winifred from Abuja. All right, that's awesome. Another thing that I want us to do is if today is the first time you are joining us on this call, just do by type one. Today is just type two so that we'll know the people that today is their first time of being are my first time students here and people that are repeated students. Abu Bakr from Nigeria. Nice one. Hi, can we still hear me? Can we all hear me? Here is too cold. Ebele, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Maybe the weather is cold.
All right. All right. So if today is your first time of joining us on the call, just type a one. No, the weather can't be cold unless you're in Canada or, So please, if you can hear me clearly, if today is the first time you're joining us on the call, just type a one in the chat box. If today is not your first time with us, just type in a two so that we know people that today is their first time of being here. Oh, I can see someone. I can see a lot of one. Fantastic. Fantastic, Zainab. Zainab, you can't hear me. Please, Ebele, confirm if I'm audible enough.
Yeah, I can hear you. Zainab, just check
all right,
chat
and I'm
for you.
All right. Fantastic, fantastic one. All right. So clearly, as the name suggests, today we are going to be learning how to secure a high-paying job as a Scrum Master, a step-by-step guide. So everything that we are going to be doing today is going to be all about Scrum Master. I don't know how many of us that have heard Scrum Master before, but today that is what we are going to be, centering on everything that we're going to do today is going to be on Scrum Master role. So before I continue, I don't know whether everyone can comfortably hear me. And also, my colleague here, Ebele, will be dropping a link in the chat box for you to be able to fill in the attendance so that at the end of the session, you can easily get the slides. So it's very, very important that you fill in the attendance so they can get the slide at the end of the session, the attendance and people that will have their details. And please, if you have any question, just stay with me to the end of the call and definitely all your questions is going to be answered. What we know today is that people here are going to get into tech through the Scrum Master route. And I hope it is you I hope it is your family member. I hope it's people that you are rooting for. So without wasting much time, can we still hear me? Please, can we see my screen? Can we see my screen? Oh, this is my network. Hello, everyone. Ebele, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Please, just a second so I switch my internet. I think the other one is not strong enough. Just a second, please. All right, fantastic. I hope you can hear me clearly now. I think it should be better now. All right. So let's start immediately. So here at Analytics, we are an edtech educational technology company that help Africans, the Black community, to get into the tech ecosystem. You know, most times when you go to YouTube to search for maybe a tech tool that you want to learn, most times you get to see the Indians doing all the practices and showcasing, and you barely see people that can communicate to you in the way that we communicate to you. That's why Analytics came up with the idea to be able to bridge the gap between the Blacks and entering into the tech ecosystem. So over the years, we've offered services that range amongst data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, cybersecurity, HR analytics, anything you can think of that's in the analytical space will actually help people to, migrate from the normal jobs they have into these tools. And also we help people to migrate to the Scrum Master role, which is why we are actually here. And all these courses that we offer are based on the data. These are basically based on the data of jobs that are going to grow over the coming years. So it's not about jumping into courses like maybe you want to learn product management, you want to learn software development. The question is the job you are trying to join. Is it a job that will be feasible in the coming years? Is it a job that is going to grow? Is it a job that the demand is going to be high in the coming years? And that is why we've chosen these courses, especially the Scrum Master role, which is why we are here, as the courses that in the coming 5 to 10 years, these are jobs that are going to be in high demand. So here at Analytics, we also have facilitators that come from across the companies like McKinsey, people that come from Google. We have our facilitators from Deloitte, some from KPMG, and some from Sahara Group, and some from Nigerian banks and Nigerian fintechs. These are because we offer high-level education to our students. That's why we make sure that we bring in the best facilitators, the best teachers, the industry experts that they can have to be able to tutor them and be able to, help them transition from any job they are in into the tech ecosystem. The most important thing is that our courses are structured in a way that it is practical and it is case study based, that it will help you get optimal value for the value that you are making. So can you see my screen? This is Adeza Suleiman. He's the founder of Analytics. He's the one that came up with the idea of how are we going to help the Blacks get into the tech ecosystem. He's a data analytics expert with more than a decade experience in the data science ecosystem, data analytics. He's consulted across Nigeria, across UK, across US, and he is a force in the tech ecosystem. He personally trained close to 10,000 participants and helped them migrate from their normal job to the tech ecosystem. And of course, he also has a founder, Efemina Ipro. Efemina is the founder or is the co-founder of Analytics, and he has also close to 10 years experience across data science, data engineering, power platform development. And he also works as a consultant in UK, in US, Ireland. And he also has close to 10 years experience in the data ecosystem, cutting across all sectors. So please kindly follow these guys on social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. And you are going to have access to these at the end of this session. And of course, here I am. I am Chukwu Emeka Ekpa, the COO for Tenalytics, a data analyst over the years. I've worked as a regional control officer in the banking industry. I've worked as a data protection officer in the banking industry. I've been in the financial market ecosystem. I've been in the hospitality business, and I have close to a decade experience in all these sectors. And we are here to help you transition into the tech ecosystem. And of course, we have our fantastic, amazing, wonderful Scrum Master. That's Josephine Bosa. Josephine is a certified. Josephine, please, do you want to say hi? Josephine, are you on the call?
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to say hi. I'm hoping that everyone can see me. Hi, everyone. I hope we're good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you so
Josephine,
much.
can see you. It's nice to have you on the call. Yeah, fantastic call. So Josephine is a senior professional Scrum Master, and she holds close to a decade experience in the Scrum industry. She's recognized and the proficiency of Scrum methodologies, and she is a sought after speaker in the Agile community. She also have proven record of successful engagement in both IT and the educational sector. And Josephine here is going to be our facilitator or co-facilitator tonight, and just be on the call so that you can be able to get amazing insights from her wealth of experience. Of course, Josephine works as a senior Scrum Master from one of the largest fintechs in Africa. I'm sure you're using her product without even knowing. Josephine likes staying low-key, so please just let's leave her that low-key, but she is a fantastic Scrum Master, right? So today, let's jump right into it, right? What are we going to be doing today? What exactly do we want to achieve today? So there are 4 things that we are going to be doing today, right? Number 1 is why choose a career as a Scrum Master. We've heard over the years Scrum Master, we've heard everything Scrum Master, but why exactly do I need to choose a career as a Scrum Master? So we are going to be handling that, and we are also going to show you where the opportunities currently lie in tech so that you can make the correct decisions going into the future. And of course, we'll show you how can you get started as a Scrum Master and how to secure that high-paying Scrum Master role. And the most important thing, we're going to also talk to you about our upcoming programs that start in 3rd February 2024. And the thing that you're not going to miss is the success stories. And we have a special discount for people that are going to stay to the end of the call for you to be able to make amazing, amazing decisions. All right, first thing first, why do you want to choose a career as a Scrum Master? Why do you even want to join the tech industry, right? Can someone tell me in the chat box why they want to join the tech ecosystem? Why do you want to be a Scrum Master? Just with a word, with a sentence, just tell me why. What's your own reason that makes you to want to pivot to be a Scrum Master or to pivot to be in the tech ecosystem? Zainab said his money. Zainab, fantastic one, fantastic. Money is always the driver. I don't know whether Zainab is the only one that is driven by money here. The money I hear is huge. Wow, fantastic. Everyone here is for the money. Nobody wants to make an impact. You don't want to, grow the next, mentor the next Scrum team, be able to be said, oh, because of Chukwu Emeka, we're able to build this product in my last company. So nobody wants to do that. It's just money. Frank said the money I hear is huge. Ganiyu said money. Zainab said money. It's only 3 people that are in this class. If you're just joining us, we are currently asking, why do you want to choose a career as a Scrum Master? Why do you want to pivot to the tech ecosystem? What's your own driver? What's pushing you? What's your motivator? What's that is making you to want to be in this exact space? You've seen, okay, impact, money, and flexibility. That's from Ikeria. Then North CEO, I said tech is the new wealth. Fantastic. That's a word there. Tech is the new wealth. Just we've learned a new one. Tech is the new wealth. Please let me write it down. Okay, Winifred said a new challenge, and Smart said to gain knowledge and become a professional. Then of course, Tosin said the job is in high demand. Okay, fantastic one. So I've seen what everybody said, and everything that we said is absolutely correct. The money, to make an impact, to be able to be the money is the new wealth because it's in high demand. They are all absolutely correct. Now, let me, in a nutshell, bring up why you need to be a Scrum Master. Why do you need to switch? Why do you need to pivot into an area that is going to offer you everything that you've currently said? Number one thing that Scrum Master is going to give you, one is that it is the easiest and attractive career path for people that want to enter into the tech industry, right? Over the years, people say, okay, I want to join tech, I want to join tech, I don't want to code, I don't want to be able to run any syntax. I just want to be in the tech ecosystem. Now, how can you make this happen? Number one thing there is that Scrum Master is the ideal route for you to enter into the tech ecosystem. And the one thing it can offer you is, of course, it gives you great work-life balance and flexibility. You can, from the comfort of your home, work for companies in US, work for companies in Canada, work for companies in UK, and still be able to make impact, still be able to make the money that you so desire, and still have time for your family. So the great work-life balance and flexibility is part of the reason why most of us have said, okay, it's Scrum Master or nothing, or it's the tech industry or nothing. And also we have the growing job opportunities. The growing job opportunities. IT jobs from 2023 has the 25.55% of share of global industries that is in high demand. They're always hiring, and 25.55% of these job demands are IT roles. And don't get me wrong, so far as there's demand for an IT role, there will always be demand for a Scrum Master. I don't know whether we are getting that. So far as there is demand for any IT role that I can think of, there will be a demand for a Scrum Master to lead that exact Scrum team that the IT person wants to join. So the Scrum Master role is a route that will always be in demand, and the growing opportunities there can never, never go out of vogue. And number one thing that I always say is that you don't need a tech-related degree. But you don't need a tech-related degree. Adesa studied economics, Femina studied a management science course. Josie, what did you study again? I can't remember. Josie, can you hear me?
Yeah, I was just trying to unmute. So I studied public administration, nothing related to tech.
Exactly. So Josie here, she is a senior Scrum Master and she studied public administration. And she's still working as a senior Scrum Master in one of the largest fintech here in Africa. So if you have the conception that for you to be able to break into the tech ecosystem, that you need a computer science degree, or that you need an engineering degree, or you need a degree in the medical field, it is all fallacy. The conception is totally null and void. You do not need a tech degree for you to be able to, switch into any of these tech related roles, especially the Scrum Master role. And for what everyone has said here, one of the fantastic and most attractive reason for you to, pivot to the Scrum Master ecosystem is because of the fantastic salary. We've all said it here. Josephine is a big woman. Everybody that is a Scrum Master, they're all big people because they earn amazingly well, right? They're in a sector that the payment is really on a very high side, and it comes from you entering into the system. It's not really about, okay, I need to have 10 years experience as a Scrum Master before I can be able to become comfortable. These are things that immediately you're entering the industry, you are going to have that amazing desire, the 6 figures that I've been craving for, you are going to get it. And of course, you get to work at the heart of innovation, right? For people that want to make impact, for people that want to make change, people that want to see their creativity or their baby grow. Okay, when you're the Scrum Master, I can comfortably say, oh, I was the Scrum Master for this exact product that is now in the market. Like, just think I comfortably say, oh, I'm the Scrum Master that rolled out this product that you are currently using that I do not want to mention for some certain reasons. So most importantly, we mentioned the reasons why we all want to pivot to and be in the Scrum, right? Number one is great work balance, growing opportunities that can go and then you don't need a tech-related degree for it to be in this area. And the most important one, the fantastic salary and benefits that comes with it. And also, you can be in the heart of innovation. Another thing that we need to know is that the demand for all these IT roles is actually on a very high scale. Like the demand is on a high scale that the best time for you to be able to get into the tech ecosystem is now. The best time to be in the tech industry is now. There is nothing anybody can tell you that, okay, for you to be in the industry, you need to have this, you need to have that. The best time for you to be in the tech ecosystem is now. Now, if you look at my screen, you see a report. This is the WEF report. That's World Economic Forum. And over the years, what World Economic Forum does is that they analyze data, they see the growth that is happening in industries, and they can be able to position and say, these are the areas that we are going to experience growth, and these are the areas that we're going to experience a downward turn. Now, on the left-hand side of my screen, you comfortably see jobs that are going to grow in the next few years. On the right-hand side, you see jobs that are going to be out of demand, jobs that are going to decline in the next few years. And if you see number one on this job, you see AI, machine learning, sustainability specialists, business intelligence analysts, and so on and so forth. But we are not here today for these exact jobs. We are here today to talk about the person that is going to manage these exact jobs. And if you still look at my screen, you are going to see project managers. I don't know whether I can see my screen. Project managers here. So project managers, this job is going to grow, is going to be in high demand in the coming years. It's already in high demand and it's something that we keep growing. And when we talk about project managers, what actually comes to our mind? You know, when we say project manager, some people think, oh, they're just project managers and no, where is the Scrum there? But Scrum Masters are actually project managers that apply Scrum methodologies, right? Scrum Masters are project managers that apply Scrum methodology. So just on a nutshell, let me try to showcase this here. So easily, the project manager space, we have the PM. I don't know whether we can see my screen. And the project manager sort of goes down and forms what we call the waterfall. We have the waterfall this side, and then we have the agile on the other side. Don't mind my drawing. Oh, this is not working the way I want it to work. All right, the idea is that for project managers, basically, they are the one that forms and becomes Scrum Master. They are Scrum Masters are project managers that apply Scrum methodologies. Because on the project manager scale, we have the project managers, they will have the waterfall, people that apply waterfall, which is already the traditional means. And we have people that apply the agile. Then under agile methodologies, we now have the Scrum framework. And these are where Scrum Masters are formed. So Scrum Masters are basically project managers that apply Scrum methodologies for them to be able to achieve their task. I don't know whether someone is following me, because maybe you've been asking yourself, okay, who exactly is a Scrum Master? Just understand this. Scrum Masters are project managers that actually apply Scrum methodologies to be able to achieve their task. Can people still hear me on this call? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, just type in yeah. Just type in anything. Yes, okay. I'm why yes, fantastic. Let me be sure that people are following me. All right, so just to also continue, my colleagues are dropping the attendance in the chat box. So for you to be able to get this slide at the end of the session, please ensure to fill the attendance sheet so that you can have the slide and go through it. So continue on what I'm saying. Like I said, project managers are basically, Scrum managers are basically project managers that apply Scrum methodologies to achieve their task. And these Scrum Masters are the people that are going to basically build a Scrum team that will have all these jobs that is in high demand. I don't know whether we can see my screen. So all these jobs on the left-hand side that we've said that these jobs are going to be in high demand, they are going to grow, are basically who Scrum Masters are going to be managing. So I don't know whether we are now seeing the clear picture that a Scrum Master role can never go out of vogue, because if these jobs are in demand, then there will be a demand for a Scrum Master to manage the Scrum team that all these people are going to be in. And the truth is that the World Economic Forum report is never wrong. They've in the past predicted jobs that are going to grow, jobs that are going to go out of vogue, and they've always been correct. If you look on the right-hand side as well, there's this job here that I was surprised when I saw it, the product manager role. Can we see my screen? The product manager here. I was surprised when I saw this exact job here as part of the jobs that are going to decline in the coming years, right? And this is because basically in a Scrum team, we have product owners, and there is already a Scrum Master there managing the entire team. So these are reasons why this exact job is going to decline in the coming years, because there is another captain in the ship that is there to make things work out very well. So please, as much as possible, try and make sure you are on the left-hand side of the jobs, especially being in the left-hand side of the person that will manage all the jobs that are going to grow, which is the Scrum Master, this project manager, as you may call it. So going forward, let's just run a simple scenario, right? Can we see my screen? I'm seeing the chat box. People are already asking, what is Scrum? What is this? What is that? So I'm just going to run a simple scenario. Justin, are you there? Because I'm going to run this scenario with me.
Yes.
Fantastic. So let's assume as a Scrum Master employed at Analytics, you've been entrusted with initiating and market entry of a cutting-edge dating application named Tenally Dates. Wow, this name is fantastic. Tenally Dates.
I love it.
So we are going to build a dating application named Tenally Dates, and because the company has recognized the demand for these dating solutions, and they want to leverage agile development methodologies for the timely delivery of a robust and user-friendly app to the market, right? So let's be able to understand what a Scrum Master does using this exact scenario. So just, I don't know whether you want to come in from here and help me with the first thing that they have to look at, which is the product backlog. Josephine, are you there?
Yes, I am, absolutely. But before I continue, I just want to say that Analytics is doing a good job. You guys give it 10 over 10 minus nothing. So well done. Well done. And I think I also have my soul sisters and brothers here. When you were asking the question, why would they want to transition to Scrum, or why would they want to become Scrum Masters? And some persons are saying money. Guys, money is the thing. Like my very first motivation was money. I'm not just going to sit down here and say, I wanted to build great products and all. It's still part of the whole thing, but one of the major driving forces is the fact that you get to be paid handsomely, like quite handsomely as a Scrum Master. So yes, money is the major driving force for me. And I like the fact that some persons were really honest about it, which is great. Okay, so let's get to dating app. We want to build the Tenally Date. Now, one of the things I want to say is like Chukwemeka was talking about how Agile methodology started. So one of the first things that you want to see is that Agile methodology is not something that just came out from the blue. And as you can see from that statistics, you see that project managers are topping the charts as one of the jobs that's going to be relevant and continue being relevant. But one of the things you want to consider is that if this job is going to be relevant, what are the methodologies that makes it relevant? Why is there even a Scrum Master in the first place? Now, there is no project manager, there is no Scrum Master without project management. Now, if there's nothing to manage, if there's no projects to manage, then there is no job, there is no project manager, there is no Scrum Master. And I think one of the things that comes to mind now is, okay, if there's a project manager, so why is there a need for a Scrum Master? The reason is in the method. So when you hear Agile methodology, just take out the lodge and, let's stay with the word method, difference in method. There is a waterfall method, which is what project managers have been using as their methodology or method of carrying out their job. And then there's another method, which is now the modern method, and it's called the Agile methodology. I'll give a very good example. I just wanted to state this foundation before we dive into the more, interesting stuff. So I'll give a very good example. Now, in time past, and I think it still happens now, a lot of people tend to wash their clothes using their hand. But that is basically seen as a traditional method. Yeah, you want to wash your clothes and you have to use your hands to wash your clothes. But then there's also another method. You use the washing machine to wash your clothes, which a lot of people or some people have it in their house. So if you don't want to go through the rigorous and the rigid method of sitting down, having to just imagine washing a pile, a heap of clothes with your hands, it's probably going to take hours and hours, or probably the whole day. But you can use a washing machine to wash your clothes, which is faster, which is flexible. You don't have to do anything manual. In fact, you can be doing all the things, cooking your food, cleaning up the house, while the washing machine has its thing. So in one hand, let's say the washing machine is the water, the washing with your hand actually is the waterfall, while the washing machine is the agile. Now, think we're in a fast-paced world, fast cars, fast food, fast marriages, fast everything. And everybody wants it fast. We want it now, get it now. If it's going to take time, then I don't want it. And that's the same way it is in the market space. You have to get your ideas to the market now. I know a whole lot of people here probably at some point have this wonderful idea. You want to do this, you want to do that. You have this idea, you slept and woke up and the idea just dropped in your heart and you felt so pumped about it. But the question is, what did you do with that idea? That idea was still at the ideation stage. And then you wake up one morning and you saw your idea in the market. You're seeing the advert everywhere on social media, on the TV, on billboards. And then you tell your friend, say, I did get this idea before. I'm going to be putting quite pidgin. So if you're not Nigerian, I think I'll have to explain what I'm saying. Yeah. So you're telling your friend or your family member that, I had this idea to do this kind of thing, but you know what? I didn't follow up with it. But that's not the world we are in right now. If you have an idea, you have to carry it out. And one of the fastest way of getting your idea to your customers, to your users, and getting to the marketplace first is using Agile. We're going to see that with Tenally Day. Yeah, we're going to see that happen with Tenally Day to now. But the basics is that there is a transition from the waterfall methodology to the Agile methodology. And under the Agile methodology, that's where the Scrum framework happens. I'll explain that in a short bit. So let's say we have a house. Everybody lives in a house, in a home. So the home, the building, that massive building is Agile. And inside that your building, we have toilets, we have your bedroom, we have your veranda, we have the kitchen, we have different rooms, the master bedroom. So see the master bedroom as Scrum. See your toilet as another framework, because there are other frameworks under Agile. So Agile is like the big house that houses a lot of frameworks, other frameworks. And one of the major and popular frameworks is Scrum. So I hope I'm not losing anybody here. Are we following? I need to see the comment section buzzing that I haven't lost anyone. Are we following? Please say yes if you're following. And if you have any questions, like Chukwemeka said, you can jot that down and we would respond to those questions. So, okay, now we have the Tenally dates and we need to get Tenally dates using the Scrum framework. How do we use Tenally dates for the Scrum framework? One of the things I also want to put out is that for you to do Scrum, for you to understand Agile, you need to change your mindset. Then you need to be agile. You need to have an agile mindset. If you do not have an agile mindset, there's no way you can do agile. Now, how do you have an agile mindset? Let's say you're used to washing with your hands. In fact, throughout your life, you've known the only way you know how to wash clothes is with your hands. Your hands is so strong that you can wash everybody's clothes right now. And then one of your uncle visits and says, "Oh, Josephine, you know what? I don't think you should keep stressing yourself this much. I'm going to make sure that there's a washing machine in the house for you to wash." Now, how do you change your mindset? You're already used to washing your clothes with your hand. Now you need to now start washing your clothes with the washing machine. The first thing you want to do is start learning how to use the washing machine. What are the ways to put it on? What do I need to do? When do I need to add the soap and all of that? So it's a shift in mindset that you're not stuck to the old ways. Agile is flexible. Agile responds to change. So if you're someone who's rigid, if you're someone who say, we've been doing this in our family for generations, for years, that is not agile. Have you worked in organizations where you're trying to bring a new idea, you're trying to make things effective, you're trying to make things productive, and while you're trying to bring the idea, that's shutting you down, say, you know what, this is how we've been doing it in the company. This is how the organization is over 50 years, and this is how we've been doing it. No, that's not agile. Because even though that's the way you've been doing it, there's a better way, there's a faster way, there's a more efficient way. So learning agile is not just some buzzwords that just came up from the blues. You need to have an agile mindset. You need to be ready to respond to change. Yes, this is what you used to know, but it's time for you to unpack those things, sort of like you're unlearning, you're relearning. That's the mindset that you need to have. Now, using the Scrum framework says that you need to work in iteration. I'm not going to bore you with the buzzwords. The buzzwords are interesting, but I want you to see that, first of all, you need to have an agile mindset. And the next thing is for you to adopt the Scrum framework. Now, using the Scrum framework for Tenally Dates, what are the first things that we need to do? The Tenally Dates is the app that we want to build. And the first thing you want to do is that you need to have your product backlog ready. What is your product backlog? Your product backlog is a list of items that you prioritize. Now, let's break it down for that. So let's say Josephine, on Saturday, I want to make jollof rice. Now, let me be very specific. I'm a foodie, and this jollof rice is Nigerian jollof rice. Unapologetically, sorry for every other country that is represented here, but nothing beats the Nigerian jollof rice. So let's say on a Saturday, you decide to, you know what, I want to make jollof rice. And then you go grocery shopping, you go to the supermarket or the regular market to get the ingredients that you want to use to make jollof rice. What is the product backlog? Stay with me. I'm trying to explain what the product backlog is. So in trying to cook jollof rice, you need ingredients. What are these ingredients? Please, at this point, I think for me to know the true Nigerians here who love jollof rice, you need to start helping me out. What are the ingredients that we need to make jollof rice? Because I want to explain the product backlog and I want to make sure everybody is following. Yes, I see Zainab say tomato paste. What other ingredients do we need to make jollof rice? Nigerian jollof rice, guys. Stay with me. We need stock. Yes. What else do we need? We need salt. Okay, good. Gabby, pepper. Zainab, awesome. Pepper. We need pepper. We need rice. Yes, that's the main thing. Okay, onions, tomatoes, tatashe. There's some Nigerian Yoruba people representing here. The tatashe, granite oil. Awesome. So I'm seeing these ingredients rolling in. So if we want to use these ingredients to make jollof rice, we need a to-do list. Remember those days when your mom says, you need to get something. And because you don't want to forget those things, what do? You write it on the paper. Yeah, you say pepper, rice, salt, and all of that. So you have like a list that you take to the market. Because if you don't have the list, there's a tendency that you may forget some key things that you need. And remember that going back to the market is really not the next option. So you want to go to the market once and get those things immediately and come back in preparation for the jollof rice. So those pepper, the rice, the tatashe, the crayfish, thank you, crayfish, you need oil, granite oil. You have a to-do list. You see those things you write on the paper. You see those to-do lists that you make or you're going to make for the jollof rice. That is our product backlog. A product backlog is a list of items. So for you to want to build anything, like we want to cook jollof rice right now, we need a list of things. You don't just cook jollof rice from the blues. You need to list that. You need to make like a mental note of what you need to cook jollof rice. The list I will make is different from the list a Ghanaian will make, or it's different from the list someone else will make. So first of all, let's make the list. Now we've made the list. So all of these items, we're going to be throwing it into the product backlog, the rice, the oil, the pepper, the salt, all of those items, we're throwing it into the product backlog. So the idea of the product backlog is that you have a list and you prioritize that list based on the things that are needed at times. But before prioritizing, you first of all need to just have this ordered list. Throw in everything we need. So now for Tenalytics, I want everybody to follow me. Let's make a list. Now we understand what the product backlog is and what needs to be inside the product backlog. We need to now make a list. We need to now put things in our product backlog for Tenalytics. I think I want to think that some people have tried using the dating apps. There are some dating apps that we currently have. Now, even if you haven't, it's okay to Google. Yeah, we don't know it all. Remember that in Agile, one of the theories of Scrum is based on empiricism. And what is empiricism? It is knowledge on experience, knowledge derived from experience. We are making decisions based on the things that we have observed. So as Scrum is saying that I know you don't know it all. You want to cook jollof rice. There's a possibility that you probably may miss out an item, or there's a possibility that you may not remember. But what are the things that you remember now? What are the things that you can put in now? So we're going to be learning based on what we have observed. So first things first, I want us to also contribute. Put it down in the comment section. What do you think that we need to do to start our dating app? Just the way we had ingredients for the jollof rice, we need to get the ingredients put into our product backlog. We need to get those items. What are the items that we need? We want to do dates. Okay, area pictures. We need pictures. Yes, we need gender. Okay, cool. I'm really loving this. I'm loving that everyone is contributing. So put it down. There is no right or wrong answer. What do we need? We need front end, country. Okay. G says front end. iPhone, age, says age. Okay, so we need a whole bunch of things. So those things that we're putting attributes, yeah, Jill says attributes, awesome. So you see all of these things that we're putting down that we need to have our dating app. Those things are going to form our user stories. Those things are going to form our user stories. Remember, in those days, I said if you have those items, you write them down on the paper. Those jollof rice items, you write them down on the paper and you take them to the market. Now, how do we write it down? We use the user stories. We have a platform, the Jira platform, where we create user stories and say, what, you know what, this first one, we need language. This other one, we need gender. All of these things, we put them into user stories. We'll write them down according to, we write the description, we have the acceptance criteria. Don't break your head over all of that. Just the main thing is that you know we have a user story. We need to write down all of those items that we need to make the Tenalytics app. So yeah, so I see that we already have some things here already. We have the user registration. Do we have more, Chukwemeka? Awesome. We need the profile creation. We need the location. We need the matching algorithm. Okay, so these are like how many items? We have 4 items now in our product backlog. Awesome. So now, when we have these 4 items, what's the next thing we need to do? The next thing we need to do is to plan around the product backlog items that we have in our product backlog. So that's where the sprint planning comes. So let's talk about the sprint planning. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. As you can see on your screen, you're seeing someone who's already trying to race on the track. Now, the word sprint planning, let's take the first word, sprint. What is a sprint literally? What do you understand by a sprint? Literally what we're seeing on the screen is someone who's running. A sprint is literally someone who's running, is intense, is fast, is intense and is fast. Yes, a fast race, G, awesome. It's intense and it's fast. And for us to do Scrum, we need to have a incremental value in iteration. What it means is this. Let me explain. Let's go back to our jollof rice, guys. Don't forget we want to make jollof rice. At the same time, we also want to concentrate on our Tenalytics. Yeah, I need to get this word in, Tenalytics. Okay. All right. So, our jollof rice. Yeah. So we have the ingredients. Stay with me. Don't lose me here, or I don't want to lose you here either. So remember, we have the ingredients of our jollof rice in our product backlog. So let's say we have protein and we prioritize this item. Rice is our major thing, obviously. So let's use rice. So one of the things we want to do is that we're picking rice, our top item. We're picking protein. Let's say we're using turkey, we're using oil, we're using salt, we're using pepper. So these are like the major items that we need. So the first thing we do is that we cook our rice in bits, in small iteration. We don't just go cooking everything at once. Why? Remember that the Scrum theory is talking about empiricism, which is knowledge based on experience. So as we go along, we learn from it and we improve. So the first thing we want to make is our rice. We want to boil our white rice. So the first thing we want to do is put our fried white rice on the fire and boil it. That is one sprint. We call that one sprint one. That is having a value. At the end of the day, what value do we have? We have white rice. We want to boil it, depending on the kind of rice you want to use. But in this case, we're using a rice that you have to parboil before you make what you want to cook. So the first sprint, remember that we're doing it in sprints, is in getting incremental value in iteration. Iteration is in beats. You're doing things in beats. At the end of the day, you have made the 10 sticks, you made the jollof rice. So what are we doing in beats the first time is that what's the first thing we have on our product backlog? Chukwemeka, sorry, probably want to take a few steps back. So I think the first thing we have on our product backlog is the user registration. So in building this tenally date, we are not just going to build everything at once. We're going to build it in bits, in iteration. The first thing we're going to do is the user registration. Of course, when you're signing up into any app, you need to log in, you need to register, right? You need to sign up first of all. After signing up, then you log in and gain access into the app. There are other stages of their login. So the first thing we're looking at is this user registration. We need to plan. We need to have a sprint planning. If you do not plan, you fail. If you what's that word? If you plan to fail, or if you do not plan, you fail to plan. Something like that, something in this line. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that we need to plan around this user registration. We've recognized that the first thing we need to do is the user registration. So we do our sprint planning, we plan around it. But in the user story, we need to find out that what are the items that we need in this user registration. I think one of the things we need to do on this call, Chukwemeka, is to get into Jira. That's what I think. So it doesn't look too confusing.
Yeah, I think we should do that. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So do you want to share your screen now?
Absolutely, I want to do that.
All right, let me stop sharing mine.
Okay. So let's get into Jira and we look at how this thing plays out from the product backlog and then to, do you want to continue? Okay. Okay, so I am going to share my screen now. Okay, so let me know when my screen is visible. Yeah, so just put it down on the comment section if you can see my screen. Say yes if you can see my screen. Okay. Do I have a response? Am I sharing now? Please Chukwemeka confirm.
Yes, I can see your screen. I see the
Awesome.
last one, which
Okay.
was for the food delivery.
Yeah, the food delivery. We've done quite a lot of things. Okay, can you also confirm that you can see my screen? Every other person in the room, please put it on the comment section. Yes, I can see your screen, just so everyone is following and we're not losing anyone. Okay, are we having comments rolling that they can see my screen?
Yeah, people are commenting. Yeah, it's coming in. Yeah, awesome. They can see your screen.
All right. Okay, awesome. Remember I talked about the product backlog. So how do we create our product backlog? What we have right now on the screen, let me take this way. Okay, that's fine. So let's create our epic. Remember I talked about the product backlog. Let's create our epic for the tenally dates. Okay. So So what we want to do now is to have something in our product backlog for the ternary dates. So ternary dates, how is that spelling? Ternary. Okay, I hope I got that right. Ternary.
Yeah,
awesome.
you got it right.
Yes, so let's have something created for our product backlog. So one of the first things you want to do is to create an epic. Okay, so I have created an epic, which is like the main thing that houses all our user story. So I've created an epic, and that is the project that we want to work on. The project that we want to work on this evening is ternary dates. Quite all right. So now we have the project ternary dates. What do we need in this creating our product backlog? What do we need to throw into our product backlog? So at this point, we would create our user stories. Yeah. So one of the things we need, help me out here. The first thing we need is the user registration. User registration. So we need our user registration. Okay, we create that. What else do we need? I think there were 4 items.
Profile creation.
What else do we need?
Yeah, profile creation.
Profile creation. Okay, awesome. Profile creation. So we have our profile creation. Okay, and we have 2 more items.
Location
What's
reach.
the next?
Yeah, location reach.
Location reach. Awesome.
And matching algorithm.
Okay, we have matching algorithm. Oh, okay. So yeah, so these are the 4 things that we have currently on our product backlog. I hope I'm not missing, losing anyone. Remember, our project that we want to work on is ternary dates. And then in our product backlog, we want to put in items that we would use in building this project. So what is the representation of our product? So when you see on the left hand, you see backlog, you see board, you see reports, and I've been mentioning the product backlog. So let's go back to the backlog and see what is in our product backlog. We have a couple of things in our product backlog, but let's look for there's a lot of projects going on here, but we're mostly concerned about the ternary dates. Okay, guys, can you see this is our product backlog? And then these are the items that we have. We have the user registration, we have the profile creation, we have the location reach, we have the matching algorithms. Remember, I told you that the product backlog is a list of items that you would use for the project that you're looking to build. So now that we have our product backlog ready, the next thing that we want to do is to ensure that our user story meets some certain criteria. Right. So the first thing we're picking is our user registration. Now, in every user story, there are certain criteria that you want to see. Yes, user registration, but the question is, what about user registration? What do we need to do in our user registration? We need to sign up. We need to log in. What are the things that we need to do? So we're going to do this together. It's basically the knowledge that you've used or the knowledge that you have when signing up to a new platform. So let's do this together as a team, as a Scrum team. So I'm expecting the expectation is that everyone here is in the Scrum team. Okay, so for the user registration, this is now our user story. What do we need? We don't just go ahead to start working on the user registration. So basically, we need to have our description and our acceptance criteria. The description is describing the user registration. What is this user registration about? What will it do? So in my idea, I would want everyone to chime in. You can, drop comments here. What do you think we need to do in the user registration? So the user registration, basically, I would say the user registration helps users to gain access and onboard into the ternary dates app. into the Tenally Dates app. So this is how we're going to describe this user story. You need to make sure that all of these things are here. Why do we need the user story? What is it about the user story? What are we doing with the user story? If you say, remember I talked about the jollof rice, and the first thing we want to do is to parboil the rice. So what are we going to do with the rice? What are the things that we need to do with our rice? What are the description? What type of rice are you going to use? What are the acceptance criteria? What are the criteria to ensure that this rice is parboiled to the level or to the quantity that we want? So now in the description, we need to have our acceptance criteria. One of the things that you need to know is that in every user story, there must be a description and there must be an acceptance criteria. And then there are all other criteria that I would not want to bore you about. So as a Scrum Master, when you see a user story, there are checks that you should see to help you understand that, yes, this user story meets this criteria. And then at this point, we need to now work on it as a team. So let's have our acceptance criteria for the user story. Okay, so this is our acceptance criteria, meaning what are the setting criteria to say this is a user registration feature? What are the criteria that we need? Remember, for you to onboard in any app, you need to sign up. And after signing up, you log in. But what are those criteria in signing up? What are the things that you see? First of all, asks you about your email. So we want to ensure that the user registration feature has an email address. What else? I can't see the comments, but I think I'm just going to roll this alone. But Chukwemeka, you could please help me with the comments as we say. So one of the things, if you want to sign up to an app, it asks you for the email. It asks you for the password.
Username, name, password. That's what people are commenting.
It's good. It has
email address,
name, and surname. Okay. Ensure it has password for us to remember. We want to sign up the user registration, so ensure it has password and verify password. So, and all of that. So these are the set of criteria for us to say, okay, this is the user registration feature. So this set of criteria. Now, one of the things we have looked at here in this user story is that first, this user story has a description, it has acceptance criteria. And why do we need an acceptance criteria? Before you say this is the user story, it needs to pass this check. Does it have a name and a surname? A field where people would impute their name and surname? Does it have a field where they could put their email address? Does it have the password field? How do we check for password? Does it have this captcha? There's some mobile app that you want to sign up to. It asks you for captcha. Yeah, what other ones?
Typing age, gender, location, date of birth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So let's put that in here. Let's put that in here. Ensure it has age, gender, and
date of birth.
Date of birth.
Yeah.
Exactly. So these are one of the things that the requirements to say, okay, these are the requirements for the user story. So let's go back. Let's do the same thing. Let's ensure that all our user stories have description and acceptance criteria. So let's go back to our backlog. Remember our product backlog. We have 4 items in our product backlog. So we're just going to do the same. We're picking just 2 for the sake of time. We'll pick 1 more and ensure that that user story has a description, and it also has acceptance criteria. So let's put the profile creation. Imagine you signed up into the app, you've finished all the onboarding and all of that, but now you need to create your profile. So let's do this together. What do we need to see in the profile? What are those things that shows that we have signed up, and then now we need to create our profile page. But the first thing we need to do is have our description. So the description would say something like the profile creation should enable users access to enable users have access to their personalized profile. Okay, so now we have our description. Let's go talk about our acceptance criteria. What are the certain criteria to say this is a profile creation page? So we should have it here, say acceptance criteria. Now I need everyone in the Scrum team, because we are in this together. What do you see in the profile creation page? What are those checks that you see? Okay, so are we having comments on? So in the profile creation page, what are the things that you see? You need to add a picture.
Yeah, picture. I think someone said hobby, username again, likes and dislikes, interests.
Field for hobby. Okay.
Likes and dislikes.
Okay, field for hobby, likes and dislikes. So we have a field
Privacy
for likes and dislikes. Privacy, what? Privacy policy.
Yeah, privacy policy. I think I saw that as well. Then interests.
Policy. Okay, good. Field for interest. Okay. And what else do we need? What else do we need in our profile page? Creating our personalized profile for tenally dates. One more. I think we need one more. What else do we need? We have the picture, we have the hobby, we have likes and dislikes. I think you should also ask about your occupation. Yeah. So let's say we need field for occupation. Yeah. So we need to know what you're into, what you're doing. All the people who want to match with you. So let's say this is enough. We have these two. We have these two created. Let's go back to our product backlog and see. Let's see what we have already on our product backlog. Remember that we have 4 items in our product backlog for tenally date, but we're just picking 2 for the cost of time. So we're using the user registration and then the profile creation. Now we need to plan around user registration. We need to have our sprint planning at this point, plan around the user registration and the profile creation. Question is, how do we create the sprint backlog? Because now we have the product backlog, we've thrown in items for the tenally date. We now need to prioritize these items based on what we are committing to for this sprint, the very first sprint for tenally dates. We prioritize this item, we pick the items that we're committed to and put it into our sprint backlog. So for instance, how do we prioritize items? Now imagine that we want location, we want to plan around location reach. So what we need to do is just, reorder this. So you drag and drop, So you drag matching algorithm. I think we want to start with matching algorithm. So you see, this is me reordering the product backlog and prioritizing it based on what we are committing to for the next sprint. So, but right now, remember that we just had a user story properly written on user registration and the profile creation. So now let's prioritize this according to what we've done on these 2 user stories. So we're prioritizing the user registration. So we drag and drop the user registration. Okay, we're taking that up. And then we are, what else are we picking here? We're picking the profile creation. Yeah, so let's take it again more up. User registration, we're prioritizing. There's a whole lot of things in our product backlog, but we're just interested in committing to 2 things only. Yeah, so you can see there are other things, other items on our product backlog, but we're just interested in the user registration for Tenally dates, and we're interested in the profile creation for Tenally dates. Yes, so let's take this up. Awesome. So now we have our product backlog prioritized based on the items that we're committing for the sprint backlog. So let's get these items into our sprint backlog. So I hit on create sprint. Yeah, can you see this? One of the ways to identify a product backlog is that it's going to have this button create sprint. Now we need to pick these items that we are prioritizing our product backlog and put those items into our sprint backlog. And what are the items? The user registration. So we're dragging the user registration and dropping it here. So we're dragging the user registration into our sprint backlog. Okay, I hope my mouse is not about to act funny. Okay, so let's drag the product creation. Wow. Drag and drop. So my mouse is about to ask for me here. Okay, awesome. Finally, I get that into my sprint backlog. So we have one more item that should go into our sprint backlog, which is the profile creation. Okay, so now we have our profile creation and user story. One of the ways to identify your sprint backlog is the start sprint button. So now you can see the difference between our product backlog with a bunch of items. One way to identify the product backlog is the create sprint button. And another way to identify the sprint backlog is the start sprint button. So now we want to get into the sprint. Remember the picture that we attached to the slides showing the athletes on the runway, sorry, not on the runway, on the track and field. Yeah, on the track and field trying to, get ready to race. So that is what sprint is, because we are committing to just these two for the first sprint. So it's a 2-week sprint, depending on the duration. A sprint can either be 2 weeks or 4 weeks. Yeah. So, but what we're committing to, the duration we're committing to the 2-week sprint. And in a sprint, it is fast, it is intense. It is like we're basically running. So what we need to do now is we need to plan around user creation and profile creation. The first thing to do when we're planning is that we get to the user stories. Let's click the user stories and let's break down this item. Remember, there are 2 things we want to achieve in the user story. We want to achieve the sign-up page. We also want to achieve the login page. Yeah, I hope my network does not act funny. I'm trying to get into the user story. So we want to break down the tasks. Yeah, so let's go into the user story. Now we are planning proper based on the items that we have committed for this sprint. Remember, we're doing things in beats. For us to get the Tenally Dates app, we have to work in small iteration. So this is what we're doing. So now I want everyone to follow me here. We need to break this user registration. We need to break it down. And when you're talking about user stories, we want to look at the complexity. We want to look at complexity is in terms of how challenging is this user story? When developers or engineers want to build this user registration, they want to look at how challenging it is to build this. Is it challenging? We want to look at the effort. We want to look at the volume of work. We want to look at the size of work. So for me, let's say I'm the developer or the engineer that wants to work and build this user registration. I'm looking at it that there's a whole lot to do here, because we have the login page. For users to register, first of all, they need to sign up. And once they sign up, they need to log in and some other process involved. Now, let's break this down, because the idea of Scrum is to be able to break down complex items into smaller bits. So we're breaking this user registration down, and I want to do it with everyone. So the user registration, the first thing we need to do is to create the login page. For users to be able to register, first of all, they need to sign up. Yeah, so that'll be the sign up page. So let's have the sign up page created. We'll create the sign up page. So I think I need to edit that. Create sign up page. Should have page. So yeah, we create a sign up page. And then the next thing we want to do, what else do we need to do? We create the login page. Yeah, so we create the login page. What else? Are we having our Scrum team members dropping ideas? So what else? What else? What else do we need to have our user registration feature ready? We have the sign up page. Now we're breaking it down into bits. We have the sign up page, the login page. What else? We need to also look at the authentication. Remember the name, email address, password. There needs to be something happening at the back end. How do we authenticate that this user is actually putting in the right information? So let's have something like create authentication API. Authentication API, so to speak. So now we have this. What else? I think we need one more. Chukwemeka, are we having comments drop? What do we need to ensure that we have a user registration feature ready? Guys,
Yeah,
we're doing this
we have
together.
yeah,
What do we have?
capture. And then
Create.
we have dashboard,
Okay.
welcome page, capture.
Okay. Give me a minute. I think
All right.
I need to close this. I'm seeing something open. So we want to add the capture. Create capture. Okay, so capture. I hope I got chat.
Yeah, that's it. And then welcome page.
So what else?
Profile picture from
the welcome page. Okay, so I think we'll just go with this 5. Yeah, this is good. So we'll go with this 5 and let's see. We'll go with this 5. So let's go back to plan the other item that we have on our board. Oh no, let's close this. Let's close this. Okay, so let's go back to our product backlog and also our sprint backlog, so to speak, and plan the other item. I hope my network does not get funny. It says something's gone wrong. Reload page. Yeah, so let me reload my page. So, Bob, now we understand how to identify, first of all, a product backlog, and we understand how to identify a sprint backlog. So remember, like I said, you want to do anything, the first thing you want to do is have your to-do list. You have your to-do list, you put all of those items in your product backlog, and then from your product backlog, you pick those items to start planning around them, put them in your sprint backlog, and start planning around them. And I just want to put this out here that we can do Scrum in anywhere, like Scrum fits in anywhere. So I've had some questions say, oh, I think Scrum is just for the IT company. Scrum is not just for the IT company. You can use Scrum to plan your wedding. You can use Scrum to plan your Thanksgiving function. You can use Scrum to plan your bridal shower, anything. All you need to do is, put all the items you have a to-do list, put those items in your to-do list, have them move them from the to-do list to your in progress to done. So let's put it this way, let's have something more simpler and say every Saturday, a lot of people do deep cleaning in their house. So probably just, clean your house. So what do we have in our product backlog on Saturdays? You want to wash your clothes, you want to clean your kitchen and all of that. So you have a list of to-dos, you have a list of what is currently in progress. So the first item you want to do on Saturday is to pick your clothes washing. So you put that in progress, that's what you're currently doing. And once you're done washing your clothes, you move that to done. So it's like an items that keep you in check in trying to get what you need to do done. Because if you do everything, you want to do everything at once, it's not possible. So first thing, you want to pick those very major items, prioritize items, pick them, put them in your to-dos, move them to progress, and then to done. All right, so yeah, so next thing we want to do, I have a page popping up here. Let me close that. So we go to the second item that we want to work on. So the second item is, do this. Okay, just trying to close this pop-up here. Okay, awesome. So let's focus on the second item on our sprint backlog. What is the second item on our sprint backlog? I hope this is not covering. Let's put this here. Okay, we have the profile creation. So now let's do this again with everyone. We need to break it down. What do we need to do? So what developers do in sprint planning is that they pick a user story, they pick a task, discuss around that task in terms of the complexity, in terms of the size, in terms of the efforts, in terms of the uncertainties related to working on that task. So let's say we're developers in the Scrum team now. What do we need to do in working on this profile creation feature? So let's do this together. In the profile creation feature, what do we need in breaking down this task? So the first thing that we need is a template. So we create a template for the profile creation feature. So we create a template. What else do we need in after creating the template? Are we having comments rolling? You guys use apps and I've probably created a profile at some point. So let's do this together. Let's bring in ideas of breaking down this task. What we're doing is breaking down the profile creation task as to the things that we need to achieve to have this profile creation done. So we create a template. Another thing we need to do is, who's going to help me out here?
Comments are coming in. I think I saw
okay.
First name, picture.
Okay. Create the first name tab of field. Okay, so let's create the first name field. So we have that. What else do we have? Profile,
age, race, color.
Create I'm looking at the picture. You need to upload your picture. So the upload picture button, upload the picture button. Okay, so we have that. Let's do two more. What else do we need? The age, the race.
Country.
Okay, so we have create what else? Create age, race tab. Okay, so we have that. So this is how to explain a sprint backlog and what a sprint backlog is and what a product backlog is. So I think there's just so much more for us to cover to make up. We've talked about the product backlog, we've talked about the sprint backlog. What else do we need to look at? Or do we go ahead to start our sprints? Now we've had our product backlog, we'll have our sprint backlog, and then we need to start our first sprint. So what else do we need to look at? I think I would need the guide of the slide to look at other things that I'm probably missing out.
All right,
do I have
let me
a
bring
slide
it up. All right.
Okay.
So
we have our product backlog and we have our sprint backlog. So there's so much we need to do. And this is just a tip of the iceberg. And I want us to see firsthand what happens with using the Scrum framework to work on any project. So, but I know some persons are already asking questions, what is Scrum? Who is the Scrum Master and all of that. We have a quick slide that we can, discuss around that and just give some few more basics and foundation. But yeah, this forms just the part of where we need to start looking at learning more about Scrum. And Analytics offers that strong platform where you can have knowledge and hands-on experience about being a Scrum Master. So I think this is the point where I stop sharing my screen. Do I have the slides up?
Yes, it's coming up now. I think we just have to, go ahead with the entire slide and talk through what's in the slide.
I was almost getting carried away and all of that.
Exactly.
So much time. Okay. Yes.
After the sprint plan, I think next thing we had on the slide is just basically to talk about the other roles that the Scrum Master performs on a day-to-day basis. So which is the daily Scrum. So I don't know whether you want to take it up from there.
Yeah, so I'm
Hi, Josephine,
having
can you hear me?
difficulties.
All right, I think we lost Josephine there for a moment, but she will join us shortly. So moving on, we've just experienced how we can break down any solution we want to solve. If we want to build a dating app, how do we start it up? What and what do we need to put into our product backlog? How do we build our sprints? How do we create sprints starting from the epic initially? So basically, this is how we get to build anything from the scratch. As a Scrum Master, you do not have to be the one that codes. You do not have to be the one that gets your hand dirty. You do not have to be the one that actually, basically writes the script, right? Your job is to make sure that everything is broken down into sprints and we achieve our sprints. If the company is a company that does a 2 week sprint, your duty is to make sure that within that 2 weeks, we achieve our sprints. So we've used a scenario of building a tenally date app to show you how we can break down this using Jira. And these are some of the tools that you are going to be learning when you join the Tenalytics Scrum Master program. So moving forward, a Scrum Master also, conducts the daily stand-up. So the idea is that, okay, we've broken down what we want to build, the profile page and the user creation into tasks that we want to achieve. Then on a day-to-day basis, we have what we call the daily Scrum. Some companies call it the daily stand-up, where everyone comes together, everyone that makes up the Scrum team, we all come together to give account of all we've done the previous day. So why this is necessary is because everyone needs to be on each other's toe. The Scrum Master needs to understand, okay, what's going on with the front end? Okay, what's going on with the back end? Because if management has any question, basically they are going to ask either the product owner or they are going to ask the Scrum Master. And when you as a Scrum Master don't know what's going on in the team, you can't really, say anything. So that's why the daily Scrum is important. For example, for the sake of this tenally dates, when we come for maybe our normal daily Scrum, basically me as a Scrum Master, what I'm going to ask is, okay, let me check who's on the call. We'll have a Debowale, we'll have a Dekunle, we'll have Aima, we'll have a Jibola. So I'll just say, okay, Aima, welcome to today's daily Scrum. Aima, what have you been up to? Aima can just come up and say, okay, I've been the one trying to build the profile page and this and that happened. I've been able to build and create the profile pictures. I've been able to have the column for the names appear, but I had challenge with maybe the username, or maybe I had challenge with connecting to an API that's going to scrape the username. So from there, I, as a Scrum Master, will now start, okay, how can we help to solve this problem that you're having? And from there, we can now bring up solutions to that exact issue that maybe Ajibola is having. And then the next daily Scrum is expected that that exact issue that Ajibola had the previous day has already been solved. So it's very, very important that you as a Scrum Master always have your daily Scrum. And the truth is that you may not really have the technical background to go, toe to toe with these guys. But then, okay, we'll have Josephine back. Yeah, Josephine, I can see you. Can you hear me, Josephine? You are muted, Josephine. All right, let me ask you to unmute. Okay, all right. All right, 1 second, please. Yeah, I've asked you to unmute, please. You can unmute now, Josephine.
Okay, awesome. So I think Nigeria happened to me. My network just got a little bit jumpy and it took me out of the call. So I had to log in from my phone. I see that you're already doing a great job talking about the Scrum events, the daily Scrum, the sprint reviews, the sprint planning, and the sprint retrospective. Yes, I think I'll just help out at this point. Let's look at the daily Scrum. So there are some of the events that we do in, sorry, give me a minute.
All right. So basically, we understand what's going on at the moment. These are some challenges that you as a Scrum Master may actually face in your own organization. Maybe you have someone that is in an area that possibly have some impediments to achieving their task. So it's now from the daily Scrum that exact person can be able to air their view and say, okay, during my course of being in the previous or trying to work on the user page, I had this social impediments. Maybe I didn't have strong network that can be able to scrape the website to pull that person's username from their initial Facebook or maybe from their initial Twitter account if you want to pull API. So these are things that you are going to hear from engineers, right? They're going to give you so many impediments. And the truth is that they're going to try to, there's what we call bobo in Nigeria. They're going to try to bobo you with their own terminologies. But that's the point that you have to stand your ground as a Scrum Master and be able to ask questions. Even when they use words that are very, very verbose, you can ask them to explain it to you as a 5-year-old person. Because the truth is, if management calls you, you're not going to go and give management a lot of big ambiguous words. Management is going to ask you, where are we on this project? They are not expecting you to start saying, okay, this, okay, that. You are going to give them a clear and concise response. So that's why daily Scrum is very, very, very important. Just I don't know whether it's back so that I can start from sprint review and sprint.
Yes, I am back and I'm back. I'm not going back. I don't know what the network is doing right now, but I'm just hoping that it allows me to go through this masterclass. Okay, so you've really done a good job explaining the daily Scrum, and now we're looking at the sprint review. Remember that we had the sprint planning where we had to plan around the user registration and the project, the profile review. Now, in sprint review, what do we do? After we are done working on that particular feature, then we come together with the stakeholders to say, we have done this, we've worked on the user registration feature. These are the things that we have done. So we showcase, we demo the things that we have done according to how we have outlined that we did. Remember that we have a description and the acceptance criteria. So now we are showing to the stakeholders, to the business, to the product owner that this is what we have done in this sprint. And at the end of the sprint, we have a sprint goal. This is our sprint goal. The sprint goal is to create a user registration feature. Now we're going to demo this thing. Does those user registration, does it have all the things that we have outlined? Does it have the login? Can we sign up? So all of these things will be tested to the stakeholders. And in that sprint review, they will give us their feedback and say, you know what, guys, thumbs up, you have done so well. The user registration feature is awesome. We like the UI, we like what we're seeing, and we think you guys have really aced it in this sprint. Or sometimes you don't get the thumbs up, you get the feedback and say, you know what, we don't like the color, we don't like the button, we are not able to sign up. This user, login or sign up page does not have an email address. It should have an email address. People should have social features in their password and all of that. So we collect that feedback after the sprint review and go into our sprint retrospective and say, what guys, we call the Scrum team together. The sprint retrospective is an avenue to look at what we have done. More like you're introspecting and saying, we're looking at what went well in this sprint, what didn't go well in this sprint, and what we can improve on. Now, I like to explain the sprint retrospective as sort of like that family meeting that you have at the end of the year or probably at the end of the month, depending on how you work with your family and say, we said we were going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the month of January. Did we achieve those things? Did we, meet our goal for the month of January? A lot of companies do that. They call it the MPR, the performance review, whatever. But in Scrum, we call it the sprint retrospective. For that sprint, we had a sprint goal. We said we were going to work on the user registration. We said we're going to work on the profile review page for the users. At the end of the sprint, we need to look at those things. Did we do what we agreed that we wanted to do? Did we do it well? What went well? What did go well? And what can we improve on? So the sprint retrospective is not a place to lay blame in the Scrum team and say, you know what, you as the backend engineer, you didn't do this well, you didn't put this button, you as the front-end engineer or the QA, you didn't test it. Is a place for us to introspect as a team. We're going to collectively, collaborate on this and say, this is where we did well, this is where we didn't do well, and this is where we can improve. Remember that the Scrum theory is based on empiricism, knowledge derived from experience, and then we're making decisions based on what we have observed. So the first sprint that we did, which is the user registration, if we didn't do it properly, that's fine. We learned from it. What have we learned from this? Okay, we were supposed to add this button with the login page does not receive the email address and all of that. So we're pointing out our flaws. That if there are flaws that we point out, and we learn from those things and take it into the next sprint. And then what we see here is the release plan. The next thing is the release planning that talks about collaborating with the team and product owner to plan the release. So remember that we had a list of items in our product backlog. And the first thing that went into our sprints is the user registration and the profile review. So that will form our first release. I want us to see it in this way. There are some phones that automatically update. Yeah, we have, if you're using the iPhone or some Android phone, you just notice that your Instagram is updating on itself, your Facebook, on some other social media apps that you do. You see that thing that updates itself or prompts you to go to the iOS store or the Android store to update that app is the release. There's a release that's already been done. Anytime there is a release, the app will always probably automatically update itself or prompt you to update it when you click it. And most of our bank apps does that. Yesterday I was about using one of my bank apps, and it says, just when you need to update the app before I was able to use it. So that is release. That is release 1 or release 2, depending on how many times that the organization has released a feature for that app. So when we're working on internally dates, there's going to be releases. The first thing we have done in this sprint is the user registration. So if we had a good thumbs up during our sprint review, we had awesome run in our sprint, everything went well. During the sprint retrospective, we reflected on what we had done and we saw that we did a good job. The next thing we want to do is to release that feature to the stores, either the iOS store or the Android store. So what happens to you when you notice that one of your social media apps or some of your apps are updating itself, that there is a release that's happened, something has been added to that product that has prompted it to update itself, or for you to actually manually go to the stores to update it. And now we're looking at the backlog refinement. What is the backlog refinement? Remember that we talked about the product backlog, but before the product backlog, something happens. What happens before the product backlog is the refinement of those user story with the product owner. So remember that during the sprint planning, the Scrum guide, has a time box for all of these events, meaning that there's a particular time frame for these events to happen, and it shouldn't exceed that time frame. So a lot of times during the sprint planning, we need to make those events very productive. Developers need to focus on the work that needs to be done. They need to focus on the prioritized items. So you want to take off the heavy lifting of being in the sprint planning and looking at user stories and saying, oh, you know what, you're telling the product owner that there is no proper description. This user story did not meet the invest criteria and this criteria and that criteria. When we're in the sprint planning, we need to do one thing, and that's to plan. We are planning. We're not, being distracted by other things. So what happens during the backlog refinement is that you have a one-on-one with your product owner. Those prioritized items that we're committing into the next sprint, we're looking at them. You open those tickets, you open those user stories. Does he have a description? Does he have a proper acceptance criteria? Because developers or engineers can work on what they don't know. Remember that this project, the person who understands this project and who is interfacing with the stakeholders is the product owner. So during the backlog refinement, I'm having a one-on-one with the product owner saying, tomorrow we're going to have our sprint planning, or in a few hours time, we're going to have our sprint planning. But let's go through the items. What items are we committing to the next sprint? And let's open these items. Does it have good user stories? Does it have good description? Check. So you're checking, there's a list of check that you need to use. You check those lists. Okay, these things meet this criteria. Now we're good to go on our sprint planning. Now developers can go to these items, break it down, estimate it, and then we're good to go. We're going to put them all in a sprint. So the next thing we need to look at, Chukwemeka, we're done talking about the backlog refinement, and then how do you secure a high-paying Scrum Master role? Okay, we're still here. All right.
Yeah, we're still getting there. So basically, let's just round up on the internally dates. There's no how we are going to explain everything or how to, be a Scrum Master using internally dates. Let's just jump into how do you secure this high-paying Scrum Master role. Before we started the call, we all said that our motivating factor for trying to be in the Scrum ecosystem, half of the class said money. Right? Everyone said money, money, money. Even Josephine, I'm sure she joined because of the money. right? But me, I'm the kind of person that I like making impact. So I like to see my creations come to life. So that's why I'm in this industry, right? But how if you want to be like someone like Josephine that wants to gain that money, which is why we have her on the call, because she's really an expert in that area, right? How do you make this exact money? So I think we've spoken a lot about Scrum. Everyone understands what Scrum is all about already. So we might have to, skip that exact one and jump to the section of how to make this exact money. So just over to you, please.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, money is the motivating factor. I'll say with my full chest. It's great to actually work on nice projects that are inspiring, but this is it. So let's look at the how. A lot of people want to transition from what they're doing right now, which is their current career, to being a Scrum Master. And we need to see step by step in ways that you can achieve that. So the first thing that you want to do is that before you start looking for a job, it's really important that you know what a Scrum Master does. Who is a Scrum Master? So basically, what we've put down here explains that a Scrum Master helps the team with the Scrum process and makes sure everyone is using the Agile method. So the Scrum Master, in simple sentence, is someone who understands the Scrum methodology, the Agile methodology. You understand what the Agile methodology is about. You understand the Scrum framework, and you know how to apply it. And Scrum is applied into complex projects. There's a lot of complex projects going on. Organizations are having different projects at every point in their Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 quarters of the year. They're executing projects, they're carrying out projects. So what does the Scrum Master do? The Scrum Master uses his or her knowledge of the Scrum framework to help the Scrum team create value in these complex projects that are, where the organizations are churning out every day. So you're more or less like a coach. Let's not get it, mixed. You're more or less like a coach. You're more or less like a leader. You are a mentor, someone who understands what the Scrum framework is. You understand the Agile methodology, and that you are helping the team use this Agile methodology to achieve value, to bring about value, to bring about increments. You are a coach, you are a mentor, you're a leader. And the beautiful thing about being a Scrum Master is that you're working with DevOps engineers, you're working with every other person in the IT team, you're working with the business analysts, they are all in the Scrum team. You're working with the front-end engineer, back-end engineer, you're working with the QA, who are the testers. So you have the opportunity to work with everybody in the tech space, depending on the kind of projects that you're undertaking. But you are the one supporting them using the Scrum methodology, using the Agile methodology. You're supporting them using the principles, the Scrum theory, the Scrum framework, the Scrum event. So you understand this methodology very well. And so you are applying it into the Scrum team to bring about value. That's what you need to do. So the first thing I usually tell people is that if you're looking to transition, one of the things you want to do is that go online, find out what is about Scrum, what is even Scrum, who brought about, what is the Agile methodology. You're going to find out about the Agile manifesto. And you're going to find out about, okay, who are the people who founded the Agile manifesto? Who are the brains behind this methodology? How did it even come about? Now, the curiosity takes you online, but better understanding takes you into Tenalytics. Because what does Tenalytics do? They take you step by step to understand what the Agile methodology is about. They teach you the Scrum framework and every other framework under Agile methodology, because the tendency to get confused online is high. So once you go online, the basic things you need to find out is, what about Agile methodology? Who are the founders of Agile methodology? You are going to see the Agile manifesto. Oh, what does the Scrum Master earn? Let me tell you guys the truth. The first time I heard about Scrum and what a Scrum Master does, the first thing I Googled is, how much does the Scrum Master earn? Yeah, because I, for one, I've been looking for ways to transition into tech. And I can tell you that I've tried coding and it did not work. I tried becoming a web developer. I tried coding for as long as it takes, and it never worked for me. So, but I still wanted to be a techist because it's cool to be a techist. So I was looking for ways to transition into tech, at the same time earn so handsomely like the software engineers would earn, and still feel that I'm doing great things in the tech ecosystem. So that is one of the things you want to find out. Be curious about it, go online, be curious about the Agile Manifesto. Now let's gain practical experience. Now you understand what who is a Scrum Master? What does a Scrum Master do? The next thing is that you want to gain practical experience. How do you gain practical experience? In Scrum, you learn by doing. You have to get your hands dirty. You need to understand the Agile methodologies. And you also need to sign up on a training platform. And this is what Analytics is bringing for you. We have experienced facilitators to take you through all of those rigorous paths, because you don't just learn the theory. The theory will not get you the job. The theory will not get you past the recruiter or the employer. The hands-on experience, the real-world experience is what we're doing. I remember we just did it here. We looked at the product backlog. We were talking about the sprint backlog. Those things, you cannot take them within an hour or two of this masterclass. You need to be part of the Scrum class, the Scrum training in Analytics. And then there is a course guide that takes you step by step on how to do this thing. And not just, learning about the Scrum guide. Some person will say, if I learn about the Scrum guide, I'm good. No, the Scrum guide is confusing. The first time I looked at the Scrum guide, I thought it was Chinese, because I didn't understand what they were saying. So the next thing you want to do is gain practical experience. Analytics bring these things to you. You want to intern. Analytics has a lot of ways for you to learn. So after the training, you want to intern with Analytics to, have that experience as a Scrum Master working somewhere. And another thing I want to say about gaining practical experience is that in Analytics, they show you practically what happens day to day in the Scrum event, what happens in the Scrum event. We talked about the daily Scrum. We talked about the sprint planning, the sprint review. So they take you step by step. So this is not you reading the Scrum guide, because the Scrum guide will confuse you the more, but you're going to be taking step by step on the life, the weekly life, the daily life of the Scrum Master. This is the real world. What happens in the Scrum guide is different from the real world. So from the gaining practical experience, we move into, the soft skills. What's the next on our slide? We move into the soft skills. I can't say this enough. A lot of you on this call already have the soft skills. Some persons think that you need to have tech experience, you need to have coding skills before you become a Scrum Master. You don't need none of that. Like I said, I studied public administration, nothing close to tech. And as long as at some point you've worked in an organization, which most of you are already working in an organization, you have the soft skills that a Scrum Master should have. What are the soft skills? Communication skills. You're able to communicate properly, clearly, concise. You're able to talk to people. You're able to communicate your thoughts. You're able to articulate. You're able to speak in a clear way. Another soft skills that you need to have as a Scrum Master is you need to have listening skills. You need to be able to listen. When people are talking, you need to listen. You need to pick out the points from what they're saying. You need to be able to understand what they're saying. So if you don't have good listening skills, you can't be a Scrum Master. But the good thing is that most of us have worked in organizations and are currently working in organizations. So we've already developed these soft skills. Another soft skills that you need to have as a Scrum Master, you need to have empathy. You're going to be working with developers, and the life of a developer sometimes could be very cumbersome. They're coding every day. They need to understand complex features, complex tasks, working on complex projects. So there's this humane part of you that needs to come out. You need to have empathy to your fellow Scrum team. You need to have empathy to your colleague. And these are things you already have when working in the organizations that we're currently working. They are not robots working. As colleagues, as employees, these people are not robots. They are human beings. They have feelings, they have emotions. So you relate to them with respect. And even in the Scrum Guide talks about the Scrum values, which is one of the Scrum values is respect. I speak to you with respect. You speak to me back with respect. We have respect for each other. Yes, we're paid to do the job, but we are also human. So you have empathy. You care for people. Oh, Triple Maker, how are you doing? How was your day? On a scale of 100, how do you feel today? Because they are being paid does not mean, oh, you're being paid, you get to do the job. No, those things we see it in the traditional organizations where people don't care about how you feel. They don't care if you get tired. They don't care if you get burnt out. They don't care if you get worn out. They are paid you to do your job, so do the job. With Scrum framework, that's not it. There's mutual respect. There's empathy. As a Scrum Master, you're going to be working with everybody in the Scrum team, so you need to have respect. You need to have empathy. You need to care for the people in your Scrum team. So the next thing we're looking at is networking and community involvement. So you need to be part of a community. There are a lot of agile communities on LinkedIn and in areas where you live. So find out, go online, Google it, go to LinkedIn. I like talking about LinkedIn because that's where you find strong agile communities where they're holding programs. The programs could be virtual, they could be physical. Sign up for those programs. Mostly, most of them are free. So sign up. They would, help you understand more about Agile, and you're going to meet like minds. And the good thing about networking is that at some point, after going through the training, understanding what Scrum is about, understanding the framework, you have the soft skills. Now you need a community of like minds because you can't afford to waste all of that training that you've had. You need to sign up with a community of like-minded people. And in that community, you also get to meet recruiters. You get to meet employers. You get to meet people of like minds that can help you get to your goal. So you don't stay isolated. Join a community. But before joining a community, make sure that you get the training. Craft a compelling resume and LinkedIn profile. Your LinkedIn profile today is one of your go-to CVs. So when people want to check you out, one of the places that they want to go to is online, and your LinkedIn profile comes to mind in terms of recruiters. So what we're going to help you do in Analytics is that part of the perks of going through the training in Analytics that they help you craft a compelling resume. Now, I've heard people say, oh, is it not just resume? No, it's not just resume. Your resume needs to pass some certain checks for it to be, for you to get to the recruiter's table. So you don't want to be part of those people that your resume just gets thrown out because it does not pass some certain checks. And your LinkedIn profile has to be optimized. A lot of people's LinkedIn profile right now is a mess. So you need to have your LinkedIn profile optimized. These are the things that Analytics will bring to you. They teach you how to get the hands-on experience, expose you to some soft skills, and then help you craft a compelling resume and optimize the LinkedIn profile. So this time around, we're talking about the Scrum Master certification. Now, the certification is basically the last thing on our table because it's not the first thing. The first thing is to understand Scrum, get through the Scrum framework, understand how to apply the Scrum framework in a Scrum team, and then understand what it takes to be a Scrum Master. The hands-on experience is like the very basic thing. Certification is great, it is necessary, but it's not important. The basic important thing is that you have real-world experience. When you're in front of a recruiter, the recruiter, yes, sees the certification, yeah, that's fine. But the next thing he wants to ask you is, what are your day-to-day activities as a Scrum Master? At that point, you want to be saying things from a Scrum Master perspective, not from a Scrum Guide perspective. And gaining real-world experience is what Analytics would help you with. Okay, so yeah, I think we need to take one step backward. So when you're talking about the certification, there are two certifications. You want to get certification from Scrum Alliance, or you want to get certifications on scrum.org. So we'll also help you understand what kind of certifications you'll be getting. Some people are taking the CSM certification or the PSM. At some point, they see that, oh, I probably are taking this one or not the other. So all of these things will be exposed to you during the training. Yeah, so moving forward, we would also look at acing the interview. Okay, now you have the hands-on experience. Now you have the soft skills. You have real-world experience. You understand the Scrum framework, the Agile methodology. You have the certification. Now you need to ace the interview. You need to get past the interviewer. You need to get past the recruiter and the interviewer. At this point, you're going to be answering questions from scenario-based activities. They're not going to ask you during the interview, oh, Josephine, what is Scrum event? What is the Scrum guide? Who is the Scrum Master? And all of those, very easy peasy questions. These are scenario-based questions that they're going to be asking you. And you cannot have answers to this question if you don't go through the training and through the real world experience that the training will be offering to you. So it's a total different ball game entirely. Remember that the money is good. One of your motivations this evening, this is evening, my time, is to go through LinkedIn and check how much does a Scrum Master earn, depending on the country you're looking at, and see for yourself. Yeah, so Another thing we need to do is continuous learning and adaptation. You don't stop learning. In Scrum, we're always advocating for improvement. The sprint retrospective gives us a way to improve and learn, which is imperative. So we're learning from experience, we're observing and taking notes and doing better. So you need to do better. How do you do better? Is to continuously learn. The knowledge you have as a Scrum Master, there's still more to gain. There are other frameworks. The Scrum framework is just one framework. There's Kanban, there is extreme programming, there's a whole lot of framework because you need to be relevant. One of the perks of being a Scrum Master is that you don't get outdated. If this framework is not working, you can try another framework in the same company. And at the end of the day, you're inspecting, you're adapting, you're improving. So it's not a job that say, oh, we don't want Scrum Master again. No, as a Scrum Master, you're multi-talented. So continuous learning and adaptation gives you that. And yeah, so moving forward, what else do we have? Abuya said our slide. Okay, key reasons for selection.
Yeah, that's my own cue. So thank you so much, Josephine.
Awesome.
Fantastic one. We've all heard how we can all transition easily into the Scrum Master program and be able to earn handsomely. It's just it's eight steps, which number one starts from registering with the analytics program. And that's where you're going to gain the education. That's where you're going to get the understanding of what a Scrum Master does and how you can grow as a Scrum Master. The number two is also having the real life experience, having hands-on skills with respect to Scrum Master. And these are things that analytics also we offer you respect to, learning Trello, learning Jira, learning Confluence. But these are tools that Scrum Master use on a day-to-day basis to make sure that they can easily, converse with that Scrum team and the stakeholders as well. Then the key reason why we've selected Scrum Master, I remember initially we talked about jobs that are going to grow exponentially in the coming years. It's not all the jobs there that we've selected that we are going to be offering. We've selected the ones that met three criteria here in analytics, which is number one is ease of learning. We've chosen courses that you should be able to learn. And we've chosen courses that has ease of transitioning or getting a job. So once you complete your training with us, there will be that ease of transitioning and ease of getting a job. And like everyone on the call initially said, high rewarding salaries. Not all the jobs that have demand growth will have high rewarding salaries, but we've selected the key ones that we are sure that we give you these three things: ease of learning, that will give you ease of transitioning, and also high reward and paying salaries. Now, we have some success stories because some of these things always seems hard until it's done. People feel, oh, this thing is very hard. Can I actually do it? But I want to play one story from someone here, Ikmat. I hope it plays. Let me just play Ikmat's story so that we can see and hear from Ikmat how she had her own transitioning. I don't know. Okay, I have to share my screen. Please hang on, please. Let me share this so that we can.
My name is Ramat, and if you're stumbling on this, trust me, you've landed in the right place because I'm going to be briefly sharing my experience about my journey with Analytics and how I was able to get a job within 3 months of joining the cohort. I joined them and enrolled for the course. Analytics as well-seasoned facilitators who are experts in the field. Imagine not having any experience beforehand as a business analyst and finishing with Analytics as a pro. Personally, I also got interview preparation sessions that helped me prepare well for my interviews, and this enabled me ace my interview. So if you're looking to transition or you're having any doubt, trust me, you shouldn't, because Analytics is really amazing and you should consider enrolling.
Fantastic one. I'm still going to play another person's video. Because sometimes we feel it's hard to transition to some of these tech skills, right? But we have people that have done it in the past. These guys have actually been there. They've experienced what it is to transition, and they've transitioned from areas that they didn't know they can transition into. Someone like Ikmat, Hikmat was a stay-at-home mom for close to 2 years, and then she was still able to transition to a tech role after she completed her program with us. So when we talk about this ease of learning, actually that ease of learning actually exists. It's not just because we want to talk, and we have a whole lot of other success stories that before we finish this session, you are going to tell me one more person that you want to hear their own success story. Or you can easily go to our YouTube page and see all the success story from our past students in BA, our success story from past students in DE, students from all the programs that we offer. They have successfully transitioned into the tech ecosystem with little or no tech knowledge. Now, when we say little or no tech knowledge, I know this sounds too bogus, but I'll use Josephine on the call for as an example. Josephine studied public administration, right? And she was able to transition into the tech ecosystem as a Scrum Master, right? I studied civil engineering, and I was able to transition into tech ecosystem as a data analyst. So you as well can transition no matter what you studied. We have people in our program that studied law, is a lawyer, and they were able to transition into business analysis, into data analyst, into HR analyst, and so on and so forth. We have people that have transitioned from their normal job into this other tech-related parts. So now, how can you get into the Scrum Master career path here at Analytics? It's very simple. We've talked a whole lot of things about Scrum Masters, right? They are the interface between the product owner, the team members, and make sure that everything is going as well as it should be. And in the world today, Scrum Masters earn quite a lot. They earn very, very well. Like we said, most of us are in this thing to make money. Some of us are in it for the impact. But if you're in it to make money, you are in the right path. So in UK, the average salary for a Scrum Master ranges along £52,000, and in Canada is among $74,000. In USA, it's as high as $85,000. You can easily browse these things and be able to see this for yourself to know that, okay, this is an area that if I make an investment for myself, I should have the return on investment within a few months. And it is an easy to learn area, right? Like we mentioned initially, we selected key courses that have easy to learn, easy to transition, and then you will still be able to get the high paying salary that is attached to it. The key areas that you are going to learn in the analytics program includes introduction to Scrum. Then you have to learn the Scrum team and artifacts, that's the product backlog, the sprint planning, and so on and so forth, like you've mentioned. And you are also going to pass through the Scrum artifact that includes the increments and the sprint backlog, then the Scrum events, and actually the Scrum scaled, the Nexus scaled Scrum, where you get to work on big projects and be able to have break it down into smaller units of projects as well, and still work perfectly as a Scrum Master. And of course, once you complete the program, you should be able to prepare for your PSM exam. Now, for our Scrum Master program, it is a 2-month program where you have 1 month immersive classroom learning, 1 month immersive classroom learning, where you have real-life case studies that you work with every weekend. If you come to class on Saturdays, you are going to have a case study you are working with, and you continue working with that case study. This class structure is structured in a way that you have classes every Saturday and Sunday by 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturdays, and on Sundays by 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. You are going to have amazing facilitators that are going to use real-life case studies from where they work, real-life case studies from what is happening currently in the ecosystem to teach you, to mentor you, so that you can be able to gain the necessary education and tools that you need to transition as a Scrum Master. And also, after that 1 month immersive class learning, you have a 1 month internship program where you get to also have real-life case studies and build up your portfolio. But one thing as a Scrum Master is that when you go for interviews, you're going to be asked, okay, what portfolio do you have? What have you worked on? These are places that we prepare you for, because we are going to give you cases like, okay, you want to build a dating app like we just did in the class. You can add it to your portfolio. Okay, this is what I've built. And all the case studies that you work with in the class, they are the things that you're going to be able to bring together and form your own personal portfolio. Now, why should you train with analytics? Why do you want to be with us? Over the years, just in 2023, we were able to help close to 900 people transition from the classroom into their first tech job across UK, across Africa, across Europe and Canada and US, right? And these 900 are people that actually came back and said, okay, I have received my job. Because on a month-to-month basis, we have students that ranges between 200 to 300 in each month. And these are people that we push every month into the tech ecosystem and make sure that they are able to transition from the classroom into the tech ecosystem. Now, why should you train with us? There are key areas that will make sure that we at Analytics have, and it includes up-to-date curriculum, right? Up-to-date curriculum. We are not just going to bring anyhow curriculum and say, okay, let's just teach these people introduction to Scrum, teach them Scrum artifacts, and that's just, or maybe teach you Trello. Because recently, what people just learn is Trello, but when you get into the industry, you realize that, oh, this company is using Jira, oh, this company is using Confluence. So that's why we always update our curriculum to make sure it meets the standard that it's applicable in the industry, right? And we also have industry experts that come into the classroom to make sure they teach you, they help you transition from the classroom into the tech ecosystem. And we blended our learning structure to accommodate everyone. The way you are in class today, learning from Josephine, learning from me, that's how you are going to be in the class learning as well. So it's a one-on-one relationship that you are going to have. And also, if you're the kind of person that do not learn by one-on-one basis, the classes are also recorded. That after the session, you can always go back to the classroom and watch the videos. So even if you have reasons why you didn't attend classes, you can always go back. Anything can come up. Maybe you have shifts and you have to be at work, or you have a work call and you miss the classes. The classes are always recorded that you can go back to them and watch it over and over again. If there is a particular place that you do not understand, maybe you didn't understand how Josephine was creating the backlogs, you can always, watch the video pause, watch the video pause, watch the video pause until it grabs into your own brain as well. And also we offer additional employability services, right? I'll still get to break down the additional employability services that we offer, plus the internship that I've already mentioned. So all these things we offer to you to make you ready for the industry so that you can be an industry expert. Now, there's a 3-layered approach that we use in analytics to make sure that you get the job that you desire. And this is the additional employment services that I mentioned. Level 1 includes basically, aside you getting the Scrum skills, learning the Scrum tools and everything pertaining to Scrum, we still give you these additional employability services for you to be able to easily transition. Because believe me, the truth is, you can have all these skills, but if you do not have the employability skills, you are going nowhere. That's the truth. It can be the best coder, it can be the best designer, it can be the highest Scrum master. But if you don't review your CV and optimize it, there's no how you can actually get into the door. Because your CV is just like a walking signboard for you. You have to push it your CV first before you can comment. So your CV can speak for you first before you speak for yourself. That's why we offer all these additional employability services like CV reviews, LinkedIn optimization, Upwork optimization, where you get to also freelance in the Upwork market, and also have mentorship sessions on how to navigate the job market, and of course, job and interview prep. If you have interview preparation and you need someone to put you through, we also have experts in the company that will put you through on all these things. And of course, if you need recommendations and reference letters for any company that you want to join, or maybe for any school that you're trying to apply to, these are things that we also make sure that we provide it for you. Number 2 in this employability scale is basically the weekly mentorship sessions. So right now, all the students that we have in the system are currently having a mentorship session. Every Thursday, they have a mentorship session. This is different from the normal classes that they have. Now, these mentorship sessions can range along, how to prepare for interviews, how to apply negotiation skills, how to be able to speak up in sessions. So these are sessions that are going to prepare you for the job market, right? They are sessions that you are going to have to prepare you and nurture you to have the skills and boldness to enter into any company you desire, right? And what we've also done is to have a blend of the mentorship sessions to come from industry experts and also our alumni students that have passed through the program. So if you're in Scrum and you are in business analysis, you get to have an expert or an alumni that have passed through the process talk to you. So this person has walked the walk that you're currently walking, so they can comfortably speak to you the language that you understand. Possibly, oh, you are doing your thesis and you're not chanced. This person is going to talk to, okay, during my own time, I faced this and this is how I navigated it. So that's where mentorship session also comes in. And of course, we also provide on-the-job support. You can get a job and for the first few weeks, you are struggling to find your fittings. We are here as well to make sure that you find your fitting on the job. And number 3, which is the most important one, is our promise to you, a guaranteed 1 job interview after you complete your program with us. Our promise to you is a guaranteed job interview after completing your training program with us. I've already mentioned the internship program where we offer growth internship, where you get to work with real life case studies that is going to make you build your portfolio and be able to stand out in the employment market. Now, the new additions we made in 2024 includes the body mentorship that I've already spoken about, where you get to have people that have walked the walk they are currently walking, come back to the classroom and talk to you in the language that you understand. So we have people that, okay, this person finished, maybe they finished their program in November, they got a job in December, and they will come back in January to talk to you. Oh, Josephine, during my own time, I had this challenge and I was able to navigate it like this. I was able to do this and navigated it. So they get to talk to you heart to heart. And you also have a straight line connection to them that they serve as a mentor to you and you are a mentee to them, so that you can comfortably have a mentor that you look up to in the tech ecosystem. Because the truth is that most of us struggle to find our fitting in the industry because we never had a mentor. We're just busy learning. We learn from Udemy, we learn from this, we learn from so many sites, but we were not able to break into the industry because we lacked the little tail of having a mentor. Or maybe we are busy pursuing certifications. Oh, let me get this one, let me get the certification, but we lack the necessary skill. The tech ecosystem is built on competency over certification. So no recruiter is going to recruit you because, oh, you have a Scrum Master certification, but you simply cannot even use Jira. They are not going to bring you in. So it's always competencies over certification. And this is why people struggle to get jobs, right? We put the cart before the horse. And when you put the cart before the horse, that's when the horse will not move. But if you've learned the skills and you have the competencies and then you get the certifications, you can easily land all the jobs that you so desire. So another thing that we also have is our partnership with recruitment agencies across UK, Canada, US, and Africa, right? We have people like Hayes Recruitment, Robert Half, that once we have students in our pool and you have completed all the necessary things, your internship and everything with us, they reach out to us. Oh, to analytics, I need someone from Scrum. I need someone from DA. We can easily recommend you to these guys, but these are provided that you complete your program with us, your internship with us, and everything. That is why we said our promise to you is that after your program, you will get 1 interview invite once you've completed our program because of this partnership that we have with some of these guys. So our next cohort is starting on 3rd February 2024. I think that's next week. Yeah, that's next week. So it's starting next week, 3rd February 2024. And I have an amazing gift for everyone on this call. By virtue of you being on this call till this moment, you have a discount for being here. And this discount is not for everyone. It's just for the first 20 to join that cohort. The truth is that sometimes when we are done with these master classes, before we're even done, the 20 is filled up, right? And that is why we always advise people to make sure they take this opportunity and key into the program. So for the Scrum Master program, it goes for $450. That's the full payment for Scrum Master. $450, while in pounds it goes for £375, and then in naira it goes for 540,000 naira. But because you are here and you've been here for over 2 hours listening to us, we have a discount for you. And this is, if you're making payments in dollars, it's going to be $350. If you're making payments in pounds, it's going to be £295. And if you're making payments in naira, it's going to be 420,000 naira. I can beat my chest anywhere and tell you that you're not going to get this price anywhere. You're not going to get this training price from any training institute across the globe, across Africa, across Europe, across Canada, everywhere. You can't get this training price. And this is because we want you to transition. This is because we want to help the black guys to enter into the tech ecosystem. We are tired of, okay, once we want to search for any video on YouTube, we're going to see the Indians. We want to see you. We want to be able to say, okay, I have someone that is speaking my language that I can easily comprehend. I have someone that can easily relate with me, that I've passed through what I've passed through. That's why we brought this down for you to be able to get into the industry. Now, one thing that we also notice is that over the years, people say, okay, I can't make this first payment, which is why we have the first payment structure and the second payment structure, where you get to pay, you get to make the first payment of $250 to secure that the discount, or you get to make 200 pounds, or you get to make 300,000 naira to secure your spot. Then 1 month into the program, that's if the program is starting 3rd of February, by 3rd of March, you can now make the second payment. That's the pending payment that you have missed. So I don't know whether someone is excited. I know people are already making payments, and the truth is that sometimes before the masterclass is done, these slots are filled up. So I'll advise you to try and make this payment so that you can secure the spot, so that at the point that you want to make payments, you're not going to hear, oh, the 20 spot is filled, you have to make the full amount. And the truth is that it happens. So try not be in that exact scenario. So for you to make payments, it's very, very simple. It's just for you to click on the link that my colleague is going to drop in the chat box, the main stack link, that once you click it, is going to take you to the payment industry, the payment channel. I'm going to share my screen so that we have to walk through it as well. So I'm about to share my screen so that we can also see how to make payments. So I've clicked on the link and it will bring me to this exact site. Can we see my screen? So it's basically the Analytics Enrollment Center. So here you can get access to all the program brochures that we offer, get access to the other programs that we do not offer, that we do not talk about in this exact class. But remember, we are here for the Scrum class. So basically, you can make payments by clicking on this. So for Scrum Master, which is this, for Scrum Master main stack USD, once you click on full payment, it's going to bring you bring up a page where you also make that payment. Okay, something is wrong. Let me try again. We're going to bring up the page for making payments. Okay. Please, I'm coming, just hang on. So once you've clicked on it, you will be able to make payments easily. Once you click on the Analytics main stack link, you can easily make payment.
Sorry, Chukwemeka, I think you need to reshare your screen.
Yeah, it's coming up. It's coming up now. All right. All right, so this is the page. Once you click on it, you can choose to make the full payments from here. Like I mentioned, full payments, or you can click full payment, which is here. Yeah, full payment. Or you can click to make the first part payments like we initially discussed. But if you want to make a transfer, a direct transfer, you can make transfer. This is our our pounds account in UK, Wise Bank, and please ensure to copy the exact sort code so that you don't have any challenges. So if you're making transfer, direct transfer, you can make the transfer to Wise Bank using this exact sort code, and the name of the account is Tenalytics. And of course, if you want to make transfer and you are in Nigeria, want to make transfer in Naira, you can also see our Fidelity account that is here, is coming up, please. So you can also have access to make payments in Naira. So this is our Fidelity account. Please, Ebele, try and drop all these payment options in the chat box so that they can have easy access to it. So this is our Fidelity Bank account that you can also make payments with, which is a direct transfer. Fidelity Bank account name, Tenalytics. So it's very, very important that you key into this discount and capture this exact time that we are helping the Blacks to get into the tech ecosystem. One thing you need to do after you've done your payments is to please ensure to click on this icon of upload your receipts here, so that we will know that this payment came from you. And once you've uploaded it, we will reach out to you and send the welcome kit to you and get you into class immediately. I don't know whether someone is still following me. So please, Ebele, try and drop the payment option in the chat box so that people can easily flow with us. Please try and drop it so that people can easily flow with us. So going on, I've talked about how you can make these payments. Remember, the first 20 option discount is not continuum. It's not always there. It's just for the first 20 people that will get into the classroom. And after that, the payment option will revert to the full amount. So what I always advise people to do is try and take advantage of the first payment and second payment option, where you can use just $250 to capture your spot, or use £200 to capture it, or use 200,000 naira to capture it. Then 1 month into the program, you can always make the complete payment again. You can always make the complete payment again. Now, these are also some of the stories, success stories that I've had in the past that I talked about. And we are still going to play the story of Ikmat. I so much like the story of Ikmat because she had no technical background, and she is a stay-at-home mom over 2 years. And after this, she was still able to transition into the tech ecosystem with the help of Tenalytics. So please, as much as possible, make sure you are in the 3rd February cohort, because Scrum Master is sincerely the easiest and lucrative way to get into tech. And once you are here, you still get to work with all the tech experts across data analytics, data engineers, the software developers. You work with them and you lead the team, even though you do not have all those technical backgrounds that they have. So please, as much as possible, try to key into the discounts for the first 20 people to register and capture this exact value that we are offering you. So I think I have more testimonials here. Before I start taking questions, let me play so that we can all understand what I'm saying. After any question, please just raise hand icon and I will definitely get to you. Just use the raise hand icon and I will get to you. I don't know whether we can still see my screen.
Are you a professional?
Can we see my screen, please? Can we see it coming up? Hi, Ebele. Hi, Josephine. Can anyone see my screen? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, you're audible. We can hear you. We can see.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. So I want to play the story of
looking to
Ikmat
immigrate legally
so
to the
please
United
listen
States.
and ask your questions.
Today, we're going to talk about one of the best options to.
Hi everyone, my name is Ikmat, and I was with the March cohort in Tenalytics, and joining Tenalytics has been the best decision so far. For me, someone coming from a background of full housewife, because I had to stay back home to look after my child for 4 years, and then wanting to break into something new, wanting to go back into the workforce, wanting to place myself in the society for better job opportunities. So it was a lot. And then I'm glad that Analytics came along, and then they presented me with so many opportunities right in front of me, better opportunities. And then I'm glad I took it. And then also the advice of do not sell yourself short, that Effie is always saying, it is very, very valid, because place yourself right, don't sell yourself short. It's a very, very, very valid advice. In Analytics, they will hold your hands like a child, through the modules. You have the opportunity to go back and study. You have the opportunity to go back and practice. You have the opportunity to ask questions. You have people you can always go back to, even outside of class hours. It's the most amazing experience so far, really. And then another thing is the interview prep, guys. That is another very important thing. I did my interview prep with Mr. Mohammed, and it is the best decision ever, because it was like he saw into the future. He knew what was going to be asked. And I'm glad that I wrote down all the things he mentioned. I went back to practice, and then when it was time for the interview, it was like everything he mentioned, it was just, they kept on. And then when I was answering those questions, I was so confident, because I already practiced. I did an Excel test, I did a maths test, and then they were really impressed. And another thing is, guys, it may not come as fast as you expect. Definitely, you are going to get some no's, and then you may begin to think you're not good enough. You are good enough, yes. The no's will come, but always take it as a basis for learning and development, because after every interview where I got a no, I always make sure I get a personal feedback. So I work on those feedbacks for my next interviews. And yes, it worked. It really worked for me, because I got my first job 3 months into the program, my first job. But I couldn't take up the job because I was a student, and I was only eligible to work 20 hours. So I couldn't take up the job. 3 months later, I got 2 jobs with full visa sponsorship. And guys, all the other no's before the 2 jobs prepared me for the yeses I got. So yes, the no's will come, but do not give up, because you always have Analytics to go back to. They are the best, and the best thing that ever happened to me. And then yes, and they are the most affordable one I've come across so far, and that's a very good advantage. So yes, Analytics for the win.
Fantastic. Analytics for the win. I don't know that we heard Ikmat clearly. Now, the story of Ikmat, why I always like it, because it's very, very, very inspiring. She transitioned from full housewife. Now, I wanted to get the picture clearly. She didn't transition from maybe working in a bank or working anywhere. She transitioned from being a full housewife to landing 2 jobs that gave her full sponsorship, right? So I always tell people that it always seems impossible until it's done. And also, just 3 months into the program, she had not completed her program, and she got the first offer. She wasn't able to take it. She had to, complete the program and started applying again. So, because she was still studying then. And after, she still got 2 offers, and she had to select the best. So you can go through our YouTube page, and you will be able to see so many success stories that is going to inspire you. So many success stories that is going to make you know that, okay, if I'm still contemplating whether I should
Let's do this very quickly. My name is Danola from Analytics, and I'm joining the call from Scotland. And I'd like to meet you guys as well. So tell me your name and where you're joining us from.
Sorry, all right, about that.
Your name and where you are joining.
I think another video is playing from the YouTube page.
I want to see it in the chat.
So let me stop the video. All right, thank you. So if you're having challenges with making the payments, you can easily, call my attention so that we can solve that easily. All right, continuing. Like I said, the story of Hikmat is very inspiring. She's not the only one like that. We have people in the class that also experienced what Hikmat experienced. We have Benga struggled in Poland, but today in his own that he got 4 offers after he was done, and he was able to select the best. So if you're still considering whether you should be here, this is your cue to make the right decision. And you can always go back to YouTube to watch our success stories and be able to make your decision. But remember, the discount waits for no one. Try and key into a discount and be able to capture it now that it is available for you. All right, I don't know that we have any question from the chat box. We can now take questions at the moment. Do we have questions? You have questions? Okay, I think one hand is
Christy
raised.
has questions. She has this up.
All right. Hi, Christy. I've asked you to unmute. You can speak now, Christy.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm just trying to confirm something. For the training, do you teach DevOps or is just Jira? Because
no,
okay, let me take that, Chukwemeka. Yeah, if you don't mind. Okay, so in the training we use Jira. There are lots of project management tools that Scrum Masters use. Now, the most popular ones are Jira, Azure DevOps, Trello, Miro, Confluence, and all of that. But like I usually say to students who are interested in transitioning, that once you get a hang of learning one project tool, you're able to understand the rest. A very good example is right now we're on a video conferencing tool of Zoom. Now, that doesn't mean that's the only video conferencing. There is Google, there is MS Teams, Microsoft Teams, but understanding how Zoom works would help you navigate the rest. So in Analytics, they use Jira, but it's just a template. So if you understand how to, navigate your way around Jira, Azure DevOps just comes naturally to you.
The reason why I was asking is I've had the interactions with both, and I think there's a little bit of difference with the both of them. So that was why I was just asking. Yes.
Yes, they can still take you through that, but yeah, Jira is what Analytics use, but you can still, understand all of that if that is your core. But 10 out of 9 companies, a lot of them use Jira. You get to some companies, they also want to use Azure DevOps. But at least understanding the basic of one project man, because there's a whole lot that's going to come in. Tomorrow, we don't know what's going to come in that would push Jira and Azure DevOps aside. So, but you need to just understand the basics of how do you navigate your way around one project management tool, and the rest can, just get to you naturally. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. And the second question is this: do you do live projects or you do dummy projects?
So, do you want to take that, Chukwemeka?
All right. Of course, we do live projects. Christy.
Because sorry, the reason why I'm asking, a lot of them says they do live project, but most times it's always dummy projects.
Christy, when did you join the call from the beginning?
I did.
All right, because these are some of the things that we work in the classroom, that we bring real life case studies and you work on it. Like we worked in the initial one, how to develop the externally dates. And these are things, I think the current cohort, that are working on how to build a food delivery app. So these are things that you have real life experiences with. And sometimes we get projects from companies, right? And we still pass it to our students without knowing. What we just do is that we codify some of the names there, we codify some of the words there because of data protection, and push them across to students to work on. So, and these are ways that they get to test their hands on real life case studies. The only difference is that you're not going to see the name of the companies there, because it's not something that we are meant to push out to others to see. But the words are codified, but they are live case studies that you get to work with, Christy.
All right, you've answered the question. I wanted to know if you guys get projects and from companies as well.
Yeah, we do, Christy.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. So are you looking to join the February cohort?
I was thinking of the March, but when you are now saying this, because I have so much I'm doing this month and next month, so I wouldn't want to miss my priorities up.
All right, what you can also do, Christy, is because we offer a 1-month deferment option. So if your intention is to start in March, You can use this option to lock down that discount option. That means you get to make the payments of $250 now or £200 now. And when you get into the class in March, you make the complete payment, right? You've already locked that exact pricing that we're currently offering. Because the truth is that, like everyone says, the pricing of today is never the pricing of tomorrow. And we don't know what March is going to offer. So the best thing that I always advise people in your shoes to do is to, lock down this exact price that we currently have and then defer for 1 month and start your program in March.
Well, thank you. And I think Zainab, this has been answered because she asked a question in the chat as well. The same question.
Oh. Okay, yeah, Zainab, on the attendance list, I chose to start in March. Do I need to make payments February or I can make around the time I choose to start? No, you can make payments right now because the truth is that when March is coming up, we'll still have a session like this and the pricing as at then may not be the pricing now. And if you are planning to make payments then, you get to make that payment that the pricing as at that March. So what I always advise people, like I said, is to make payments in February. And if you intend to start in March, you can always defer your startup month to March. All right. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Zainab. I don't know whether I'll have any other question. Please feel free, raise your hand, use the raise hand icon and speak. I'll just ask you to unmute. All right. Adekemi Abu, do you have a question for us? Amadou, Frank, Ikeria, Azizat, Ifoma, Kelechi, iPhone, Kelly, LO, Ogo, Tosin, Samsung, yeah, Senator, everyone on the call. If you have questions, please feel free to raise your hand. Feel free to drop it in the chat box, and we are going to take it up from there. All right, LO, yes, you can use the first payment link. You can use the first payment link to make your payments. But if you're in Nigeria, you can easily also make payments to transfer to our Fidelity Bank account that we've dropped, or you can also make payments to our Wise account in UK using our source code that we've also dropped. So please try and use these options. All right. Any other question from anyone? Question, comments, clarification, and if you are still considering, you don't know whether you want to go into the February cohort or March cohort, or even whether you want to join the Scrum team or whether you want to do any other course, you can always lock down your payment option. And in the option to choose the program you want to join, you can simply select, I want to speak with a professional. We always have our clarity sessions on Tuesdays, either by 2 p.m. or by 11 p.m. West African time, where we get to clarify and have a session with one-on-one experts in the industry that will clarify your issues and be able to give you a guide on the tech career path that you can choose. But please, how's the course beneficial to data scientists? Oh, Frank, yeah. If I get correctly, you're asking how this course is beneficial to data scientists. All right, just when you can. I'm glad to have you on this call, sincerely.
Yeah, so for those who are data scientists, from whatever career path that you're transitioning, one of the basic things that you need to know is that most organizations, and this is very verifiable online, most organizations are adopting Agile. So it's not just about being a Scrum Master, but being in an Agile environment. So even as a data scientist, and this is what you're currently doing, or this is what you're learning to do, you find yourself in an Agile environment. How do you adapt to that environment? And even during interviews, they usually ask software engineers, usually ask DevOps engineers, do they understand Agile? Because you're not going to be working in a waterfall environment. You need to think and align with what the organization is working. And most organizations are into Agile. They've adopted Agile and they have Scrum Masters, Agile coaches to do all of that. So as a data scientist, you can also learn about Agile. This is one of the platforms to learn about Agile. If you're in an Agile environment working, you know what to do, you know how to align, in the Agile environment, you know the expectations. And if you're also looking to transition, it's easy peasy, yeah, because you don't need any prior experience, you don't need any coding skills. You just need the soft skills that you had already gained working as a data scientist and just, getting to understand the agile methodologies and the frameworks, and you're good to go. Having the hands-on experience. So it's easy to transition. Yeah. I don't know if that answered your question. Frank. Yeah. I don't know if that
Fantastic answer, Josephine. I think that should be an amazing response. Frank, okay, yes, it answered your question. Nice one. Thank you, Frank. Please feel free to talk to us if you have questions, if you have clarifications that you need, even if it's in the exact course that we ran through the Scrum Master program, or you have questions in the case study that we are handling, please feel free to ask the question. Please feel free. This is a safe space that we tend to, accommodate everyone. Thank you. You can use the raise hand icon, or you can drop your question in the chat box and we'll pick it up from there. Someone should talk to me. Femi, do you have any question? Hi, Femi. I've asked you to unmute. Hi, Femi. Hi, Tosin. Do you have any question? I've asked you to unmute. Hi, Senator. I've asked you to unmute as well if you have any question.
No question at the moment. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Lua Tosin. Hi, Senator. Do you have any question? My colleague have also dropped the links to our socials for you to be able to follow us and stay up to date with what's going on. I believe maybe from the socials, you get to see maybe price reviews and stuff like that. But please try and key in into this discount that is currently running. I always advise people to key into it during my master classes. Because the truth is that last year,
Kelly, there's a question from Kelly. So Kelly is saying, will the PMP or Prince 2 certifications be necessary for Scrum Masters? Actually, it is necessary. One of the quick things that you can do is go to your LinkedIn and check. Okay, there's a noise background or something. Okay. So go to your LinkedIn.
I'm trying to mute Femi.
Okay. Go to your LinkedIn and, type let's say you're looking for Scrum Master job, to go to the job part and type. You will always see something like Agile Project Manager. Now, a lot of companies, a lot of these new startup companies, a lot of organizations, big organizations as well, they're already Agile. They are no longer using the waterfall methodology. So one of the easy ways for project managers to transition is just to learn the Agile methodology. You already have understanding of one methodology, which is waterfall, and all you now need to do is learn Agile. So you always see job descriptions saying Agile project managers, Scrum Masters, Agile Scrum Masters. Those are just recruiters playing around with words. But for you who have the PMP or Prince 2, awesome. Just learn about the Agile methodology, easy transition. So now you can function as an Agile project manager and a Scrum Master. That's beautiful. So yes, very necessary.
Fantastic response, Josephine. Thank you for that.
That is if you already have it, yes? Sorry, Chukwemeka. That is if you already have it. But if you don't have it, that's fine. Just go through Agile and, learn about Scrum Master. If you already have it, this is for people who are already project managers that have the PMP and Prince 2. But is it a requirement to be a Scrum Master? No, it's not a requirement. All you need to do is get a hands-on learning, and then if you have the certifications, that's fine. It's not a requirement for Scrum Masters if you're not a project manager yet. Okay, yeah, go ahead, Chukwemeka.
All right, thank you for that, Josephine. I'm always glad to have you on the call so that you can help me out where necessary. All right, I think someone else is asking a question whether they can make payment 3 times. I'm interested in data science or data engineering. Okay, I just dropped an email in the chat box. So iPhone, you are at liberty to email this number and ask for the exact route that you're trying to tow. or if someone is in that category that requires for that payment to be structured, can also email the email I've dropped in the chat box, and we will get across to you. Please try and do so this night so that we'll be able to get you into class before 3rd of February. Hi, Femi. Do you have a question for us?
Yeah, I'm with you. Hello.
Okay. Yeah.
And my question. Okay. Do you want me to type it, or I should just?
No. You can speak.
I should continue.
You can speak, please. Yes, please.
Okay. I'm really interested in data science too. But the issue is that though it's not even up to a week that I came across the 10 analytics stuff. I mean, this school, and then I've been trying. Though I'm into IT, I'm into cybersecurity, but I just want to add more to my resume so that. And then a friend told me that I can even obtain and data analysis. So I've been trying to search around until today that I came across the 10 analytics, and then I tried to search through Facebook, and I'm able to have a link, and then the link add me to a WhatsApp, and I'm able to join this Zoom meeting today. And then the issue here is that and the issue now is that I did not really prepare for that money, as in to pay either once or twice like that. So, but I still promise that maybe, if possible, I will join the class by March, so that I'll be able to have, so that I'll be able to join the class. So that's what I want to say.
All right. Thank you, Femi. What I told the person in the chat box. Now, if you want your payments to be structured, so just email that number there. That the email that I've dropped, just email it. But what I always advise people is to key into this program once you hear about it. Because the truth is, maybe in March that I want to join, pricing would be different. Somebody that wanted to buy a car as far back as maybe last year, we know that the person, if you save 3 million to buy cars at then, now that 3 million cannot even get you any car that is movable. So it's always advisable to try and place a lock on any payment thing that you're trying to make, so that you sort of what's it called, hinge the risk that is going to come up. So I advise you to email the number so that your own payment structure can also be arranged. And the fantastic thing there is that if you make all those structure and you're able to make the first payment of the structure, you also get to lock down this exact discount price that we currently offer. Because discounts of today may not be the discounts of tomorrow. So thank you, Femi.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Any other question? We are approaching 11 p.m. West African time here. Any other question from anyone? Comment, clarification? We are here for you, please. I don't know. We have close to more than 30 people on the call. Nobody's asking me anything. Hi, Zainab. I've asked you to speak, please.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Good evening, Zainab.
Yeah, thank you for the session. I really enjoyed it. It was well packed, and it's my first time actually being in a tech class, the training. So, but my question now is, you've already analyzed that we can pay the money. The money is huge, this economy that we have. So I'll try and send my message to the email. Then another thing I want to ask is, what kind of gadgets are we using? Is it a laptop, or our phones can also go for it? The training.
All right, fantastic question, Zainab. So basically, what you just be needing is just a laptop. Just have a laptop and access to internet, and you are good to go. So a laptop and access to internet, and you are good to go.
Okay, and again, can Scrum be applied in cryptocurrency world? Because I'm more
Well,
into crypto, so I want to know
Let me take that.
cryptocurrency.
all right, just who wants to handle it?
Yeah, so Scrum can be applied anywhere. Remember when I was talking about you can use Scrum for your wording, you can use Scrum to do anything. Yeah, so the Scrum framework can be applied in any organization. I currently work in a fintech organization. I'd worked in several other industries that were not tech, and I was a Scrum master, and they were into the Agile methodology. So you can use it in crypto, you can use it in anything. The methodology just applies for anything. It's still a project, you can work on it, whatever project you're doing, and even personally, you can use Scrum. Try personally how it works for you, your day-to-day activity, your monthly goals, your weekly goals, put it in Trello, those things, they have free subscription. Do these things personally for yourself, see how that works. But in any organization, it's not just the technical organization, you can use Scrum. Scrum applies anywhere. Scrum Master, you can work anywhere. You can work with the government, you can work in the health sector, you can work in the educational sector, you can work with financial sector, core startups, tech, name it. Does that answer your question, Zainab?
Yeah, it does. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right,
Nice.
thank you for that, Josephine. Zainab, are you already going to all right, that's fine.
We're almost done. It's almost 3 hours we've been here.
Yeah.
The kids have to go
all
to
right,
school tomorrow, so I need to go and catch some rest. Good night.
Yeah, I understand. All right, guys, please, if you have any clarification, if you have any issues, if you want to still reach out, please, there is an email in the chat box that you can email your complaints or your inquiries to. That's elijah@tenalytics.org, and we will get across to you. In the meantime, thank you so much for being with us since 8 p.m. to almost 8 p.m. 11 p.m. West African time here. So thank you so much. Thank you, Josephine, for being on the call with me. You've been an amazing co-host, and I owe you, one Scrum something.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, guys. So please try and key into. All right. Thank you, guys, and do have a wonderful night's rest. See you some other time, guys. Cheers, everyone, and good night.
Thank you. Bye.